Hello, welcome back to the Wild. My name is Beast, and today we're back with Princess Evangile. What's there to say? I don't know. Oh yeah, the random background lottery again, I guess. On the left-hand side, we have the CG of Sora, just basically doing the little planetarium show at the school festival. And on the right hand side we have once again Miyabi caring for Ren in the nurse's office. The CG appears a lot for some reason. Possibly because I have so many variations of it in that fucking folder. Oh well. Anyways. So yeah, anything else to say? I don't know right now. I mean, other than the obvious. Although that's not really something to say, more something to do. Man, I love cider. Also, I still haven't forgotten the whole, what was it that she said again? Also, somebody like pulled up about the resident VN man is back in the channel again, and we've missed them all. So it's very good to have him back. But also, I'm still kind of salty about the whole. You know, alcoholics always say they aren't alcoholics. Like, by God, like it's like they're just looking me in the face like, fuck you. But yeah, that same resident VN man has actually just blessed me with I don't know how many visual novels with mature women in them. A majority of them, logically teaches. Stuff like, where is it? Dottegui Hitozuma no Akunaki Inyoku. The protagonist notices from a long time ago that he likes older women. That's literally just me, I guess. Then there's also Amero Dotekun wo Yasashiku escort. Yasashiku escort, I guess. And this one is what was it again? Oh yeah, I think not fiction or something like that. Then there's Hikari no Umi no Aperia. Hakui no Tenchi wa Osewazuki, love, Ichina. I can't see. Read the rest right now. Then the thing is, in one route there was it was a bunch of teachers again, but one of the routes was his older sister, and then it came up that the fact is, like at the beginning, I could somewhat tolerate little sisters, and older sisters I don't mind at all, honestly. Like, I'm not going to specifically seek them out, but I can ignore it pretty well. The problem with the little sisters was just the mix of I know how annoying it is to have a little sister, and the fucking oversaturation of little sisters just everywhere. Made me absolutely hate them. So, katekyo shichou, hitotsu yane no shita, nuyoyo, Gashuku Monogatari. And the thing is, after I mentioned that, he suddenly like sent me like 3 visual novels that were all about older sisters. I was like, that's not what I meant, okay? Like, ugh. I'm just saying it's a trait I can overlook. Kate Kyoshi no One-san H no Hansachi agechaimasu. There's another one he shared. But yeah, I feel like that was a way of his making up for the fucking tidal wave of little sisters they were talking about before. But yeah, anyways, today was a long-awaited summer training camp. Wonder if Mitsuki is back yet. Didn't know the circumstances, but she went back home again around the end of July. She had gotten in touch with me, so I was happy about that. I felt it was proof our relationship had progressed. An email she sent me.
夏合宿に合わせてなんとか戻れるようにするから。
Is what she said. Making a trip back and forth from Tokyo must be a hassle. Was it because of her situation at home? I was starting to get worried. The time came and I left my room. We were all going to meet up at the gym first, then head there together.
ごきげんよう。
Quickly turned around at the sound of that nostalgic voice. Mitsuki! Dad? I like it! The other outfit was better though. I really like the necklace though. Oh, that outfit. I've never seen you in that before.
そうでしょうね。だっておろしたてだもの。
Oh, it's pretty cute. Looks good on you.
またお世辞なんか言ったりして。
I'm not flattering you, I mean it. I stared at her intently as if appreciating a piece of fine art. She really is cute. That would be completely blunt. Whether her outfit was cute... Whether her outfit was cute would depend on the one wearing it. No? That reminds me, didn't Mitsuki?
ごきげんよう。あら、美月さん、その格好珍しいわね。ええ。ちょっとみんな。
Also, that is quite the short skirt, actually. Like, that is kind of daring. Like, she usually doesn't wear skirts, then she suddenly goes for this.
いいわよ、いちいち呼ばなくても。なんでよ、これはぜひみんなに見せつけるべきじゃない。だって、あなたがスカートを履くのなんて初めてなんだから。
Oh, I knew it.
あら、まさやさんもご存知だったの？
Yeah, I'd heard once before that she didn't own any skirts.
へえ、そんなことまで聞き出すなんて。やっぱり二人、ずいぶんと仲良しになっていたのね。
There was a slight teasing nuance to her comment, but it didn't seem nasty in any way. Mitsuki didn't look particularly displeased either, but it was probably just wishful thinking. You're a fucking idiot, Masaya.
あらあら、まあ。へえ。
Hold on, was there a second ma coming?
あら、まあ。
Oh, come on! At least do it correctly, Ruriko. Usually I not gathered at Rise's call. Everyone who had attended Vincenzo's primary course were surprised and admired Mitsuki on sight. Both Jim and Konami reacted only with a simple and confused, huh?
どうかしたの？どうかも何も。俺は真夏に雪が降るわね。それは言い過ぎですよ。ん？ひとまず体育館に行きましょう。もう時間だわ。スカート？へえ。言われてみれば確かに。私も美月様はパンツルックしか見たことがないような気がします。なるほどね。だからみんなで取り囲んでいたわけか。結構有名だったから、美月のスカート嫌い恥ずかしいって言って。
Oh, is that true? I gazed at Mitsuki in her brand new outfit once more. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, it looks great on you.
うるさいわね。
She replied, seeming annoyed.
嫌いだったはずが、こんなガーリーな格好だものね。それは驚くわよ。
Dressed up?
女の子っぽいということよ。
Right about that.
それほどでもないでしょ。普通じゃない。 ってフリルがついているもの。ガーリーな感じじゃない。何か心境の変化でも？そんな大層なことではないけどね。ただ、たまにはいいかと思って。
Excuses.
とてもよく似合っていますが、今日ばかりはパンツの方が良かったかもしれませんね。どうして？
It shows off your it shows off your buttocks.
参道も登りますので、しかもミニスカートですし。
I fucked up. Wait, hold on. Ritsuko is also wearing Actually, Ritsuko is wearing an even shorter skirt. Like, why are you not talking to Ritsuko about it?
なるほどね。
Let's look at her!
後ろを歩いていたら見えちゃうかな。まさやくん、これはチャンスよ。
Like, hers is the shortest here. Like, I feel like if you were standing next to this tree over there, you wouldn't be able to currently see her panties. Like, without even, like, ducking down or something. That's what it looks like. I won't do anything like that.
とはいえ、こうしたイベントの時こそ、新しい服を着たいと思うのは当然のことですからね。ですから、みつきさん、どんまいですよ。どうも。
Mitsuki's face flushed bright red as she pressed down on her skirt. I told you I won't peek.
とりあえず、転んだりしないようには気をつけなさいな。参道を歩くのだって初めてでしょ？その格好で転んだら、本当に丸見えね。でも姉さんも同じですよね。違う服にすればよかったのに。あら、私はいいのよ。別に恥ずかしくなんかないわね。もう少し恥じらいというものをですね。
We eventually reached the gym as we engaged in small talk. Students were already lined up beside the gym. Our summer vacation wouldn't be over for quite some time, but there was a surprising number of people here. It must have been a popular event. The teachers warned us not to let our line get disorderly and then headed out. We headed out. Despite our warnings, the line up instantly broke the moment we got outside. That's pretty unusual for Vincent. They're ignoring the teacher's instructions.
カバンが重たいせいでしょうね。毎年そうなのよ。
Lisa was also dragging along her own suitcase, so it did look like a hassle. Did you really need to pack that much? It's only for 2 nights, right?
女の子ですから。
I see. Walking in straight lines didn't really fit this particular scenario, so everyone decided to huddle together.
では、出発しましょう。
Ruriko declared with a smile, and we started moving towards the mountain path.
珍しいわね。みつきのことだから、リツコやこのみと同じようにするかと思ったけど。
Those two made sure to keep in line so they weren't here.
まあ、せっかくですから。スカートもそうだけど、夏合宿に参加するのも初めてなんでしょ？なんかみつきも変わったわね。そういう彩香様も夏合宿は初めて出るんですよね。やっぱり今年で卒業だから？いやー、まさやくんがいるからに決まってるじゃない。湖では魅惑のボディを見せつけたりして。そういう発言は感心できませんね。なーに言ってるのよ。みつきだって同じでしょ？そんなはずありません。だいたい私スタイル良くないし。
Bullshit. Also, I just noticed, like, because of the side shot, her breasts look way smaller than they did in that first CG. Anyways.
ボディは冗談よ。でも、みつきもスタイルいいじゃない。
Mitsuki shook her head.
みつきも控えめね。じゃあ、 まさやくんはどう思う？
I figured you'd put me on the spot eventually. Like I knew I knew you were going to push me in front of the truck. Like I did the work for you. I just spread my arms out and waited. I can let out a clear laugh, but Mitsuki was actually shooting a heavy look my way. I do think you look really stylish.
うるさいわね。
I knew it. She was annoyed with me. No, she wasn't. Wow, there's a path like this on the grounds.
見上げるだけで疲れてくるわね。宿舎までどのくらいあるの？ 30分くらいです。遠いな。
You all packed too much stuff.
まさやくんは身軽でいいわね。
When I had to disappear into the night, I only had the clothes on my back, you know?
笑えないって。
It's also true, though.
みつきさん、気をつけてくださいね。さっきの話ですが。ええ。私もよく足を滑らせるので、私の服は裾が長いので気にすることもありませんが。減るものじゃないんだから、別にいいんじゃない？そこまで割り切るのもどうかと思いますけどね。でも、千穂やリセだって気にしないからいつもの格好で来たんでしょ？というか、私は転ばない気がします。ああ、そっか。運動神経いいものね、あなた。リセは？私は慣れていますし。なんだ、そういうことか。なんかだんだん心配になってきたわね。私も体育は苦手なのよね。
Anyhow, be careful not to hurt yourself, okay? That advisory appeared to have paid off and we made it to the top of the mountain without any concerning developments.
やっと着いたか。汗かいてしまったわ。私も。上にこんな建物があったんだ。すごいな。
She was the only one who looked calm and collected, and I looked up at her with admiration.
なんかもったいない気もするけど。
Sure. Makes me wonder if there was a need to build such a nice lodge a half hour away. Oh, talking. That reminded me, wasn't Vincent having financial troubles? That all made sense.
ただ、寮と違って大部屋ですからね。私、そういうのは好きです。
It was several rooms in Tamiya's route. Then again, I think the common route, he actually is sent back. So.
寝る前は枕を投げたりね。もう中に入ってもいいのかな？ええ。全員が到着するまでは休憩だわ。
They said they would call for me when it was time to set out. As such, I waited around, and nearly an hour later, Mitsuki came for me.
お待たせ。出るわよ。
Okay! Figured we'd be heading out immediately, but instead Mitsuki came into the room.
一人きりだとやっぱり広く感じられるわね。
It's kind of lonesome. I want to sleep with the rest of the group too.
何言ってるのよ。
Just kidding.
まさやさんは着替えないの？
Oh, Sister Mishima asked me to stay on the boat since I'm on lifeguard duty. You would still need a bathing suit though. Saito normally did that job, but came down with a cold, so I was brought in as a substitute.
なんか変な感じね。私たちは水着なのに、まさやさんは。
If he's a lifeguard, he needs to save the people if they're having trouble in the water. Meaning he has to go in the water. Meaning he should put on a bathing suit. Is it?
あなたも脱げばいいのに。
I think that comment is even weirder.
それもそうか。
Still, it sure has taken a while. I thought we'd be leaving by now. Was everyone exhausted or something?
そういうわけではないんだけど。
Everybody already left. Huh? Why are you blushing?
秘密よ、秘密。
Sure.
じゃあ、行きましょう。
Yeah. It appeared to be okay for us to head to the lake whenever we pleased, so the participants were migrating over in small groups. It's getting at it, but she really does have a great figure. I gave her a good once over. Oh, that's why it looked smaller. They look smaller than they are, because the fucking like perspective is really skewed. Because she's not. It's not a complete side view. She just looks then slightly turned your way. So what actually starts, let's say, around here, looks like it starts around here. Hold on, did I read that one? I gave her a good once over, since she hadn't been there that time we cleaned the pool. This was my first time seeing her in a swimsuit. She had a relatively slender frame, but she filled out in all the right places. Essentially, she had an ideal figure. It's seriously way too modest. Wow, there's a lovely place like this on site.
ほんと、いいわね。水もきれいだし。
Yeah. Now that everyone had gathered together, I made my way towards the lake.
頑張って。
Thanks. It was an extremely short back and forth, but it warmed my heart. When I boarded the boat, I could see Mitsuki watching me. I gave her a quick wave. Mr. Mishima ended up riding in the boat with me. To be honest, though, it didn't feel like there was much point in her being there.
ボート、ボート。
Oh, she just really wanted to ride a boat. But knowing how much fun she was having made it impossible for me to tell her she wasn't needed. I kept my eyes firmly concentrated on the girls playing around in the lake. When emergency appeared, I had to be sure to throw out a life ring and rescue whoever was in trouble. Oh, life ring. But of course, the water was shallow and there wasn't a single incident of someone drowning in Vincenne's long history. But what is it? A sudden laugh startled me.
いえ、こうしていると、まるでデートのようだな、と思いまして。
I mentioned earlier that I liked a bunch of games with teachers. Why does this game not give me the teacher?
無言はやめてください。無言は。
I'm sorry.
冗談ですよ。いずれにしろ、今は仕事の最中です。まあ、事故はまずありえないと思いますが、油断は大敵ですからね。
Yes, but sister, is it okay for you to wear a habit out here?
まあ、そんなに私の水着姿が見たかったのですか？
Yes, exactly. No, it's not that. If you ever dress like that, won't you be in danger if you fall in the water?
ああ、確かに。
Just make sure to save me then. The sister bopped herself on the head.
いけませんね。すっかりデート気分で、そうした危険性を忘れていました。無言はやめてください。無言は。
I'm sorry.
本当を言うと、プライベートの時を除いて、平服は着られないんです。
They really gonna put this out there? Now I really want to see her in her ordinary clothes. Fuck you. That does sound rough.
ええ。今日などは日差しも強いですし。
True enough, on the boat we were getting roasted by a reflection off the water surface too. I really wanted to dive into the water.
こういう自然の中で泳ぐというのは、好き嫌いがはっきりと分かれるんです。
Sister said while gazing out at the swimsuit wearing group.
ですから、参加する人はずっと参加しますし、来ない人は一向に来ません。それが、今年は初参加の人もちらほらといるようです。
Mitsuki's like that too.
ええ、そうですね。美月もそのうちの一人です。美月のこと、気になるのですか？
Wasn't something I needed to hide, so I nodded. Yes, I do.
美月が参加することには私は少し驚きました。参加したのはきっとまさやくんの存在があるからなのでしょうね。
That would be nice.
自信を持っていいと思いますよ。バンセンヌの今まで通りであれば美月は決して夏合宿に来ることはなかったでしょう。それは前期の頃から見守ってきた私が断言できます。
I see. Yeah, besides, I was the one who acted all high and mighty and told Mitsuki the same thing. Mitsuki, you should have more confidence in yourself. Someday, I did intend to tell her exactly how I felt. It was thanks to Sister Machina's support that I was able to work up the determination to do so. Thank you, sister. From the bottom of my heart, I was deeply grateful to her. By the way, that was actually a joke I let out in the Discord server earlier. When, the whole sister talk wouldn't stop. Like, I was complaining about, like, Jesus Christ, like, why the fuck continuously those sisters and I don't get the mature women I want? And somebody like you just gotta follow the ways of the Yamoto. No, I fucking won't. The only sisters I have interest in are sexy nuns. Like, I don't know why I said that, but I did. Also, change up the fucking background, please. We don't need depression. Oh, nice. The final Marika CG of them, like, on the porch of the Myogi residence, with him lying on her lap. One was nice, that ending. Huh?
今、前期からと言いましたが、私の年齢を逆算してはいけませんよ。決して。
Yes, of course. I would never. For lunch, we had homemade curry. The thing is, whenever someone is like overly sensitive about their age, it just makes it obvious that they're old. Like, the thing is, I say that, but by old, usually mean approaching 30. Anyways, since I was also on cooking duty, I carried a huge stock pot to the lakeshore. Eating curry outside, huh? It's kinda nice, and enough to get you excited. Never eaten like this with everyone, so this makes me happy.
そうなの?
But I guess I did have pork miso often.
豚汁?
Those were meals provided to the needy. Well, not that any of that mattered. I've never really participated in an event like this before.
そう。じゃあ、バンセンヌに入ってよかったわね。
Yeah.
もっとも、バンセンヌは修学旅行さえないから、下界の学校に比べるとイベントごとに乏しそうではあるけれど。
That's not true. On the contrary, events like the May festivals don't happen often. Oh, that reminds me. Were you there at the dance party, Mitsuki?
いいえ、だってあんなドレス恥ずかしくてとても着られるものではないもの。
I knew it. Now that I think about it, that's too bad.
何よそれは。
You know, would have loved to dance with you.
私は冗談じゃないわね。男女でダンスだなんて。
Well, maybe I can look forward to it next year.
だからダンスなどしないと言っているでしょ。そもそも来年あなたがバンセンヌに残れるかどうかわからないのよ。
I guess not. Couldn't laugh off that question. Like the premiere judgment, whether everyone voted in favor of gender integration or not, or decided to maintain the status quo, was out of my hands. It wasn't simply a matter of what everyone thought about me. Mitsuki-Route says bullshit. Mitsuki, are you opposed to gender integration after all?
当然でしょ。私は一貫して女子校維持を望んでいるし、それは変わることはないわね。
I see.
ただ マサヤさんがどうとかという段階はもう過ぎたし、だから
So?
なんでもない。
Anyway, even if it ends after a year, I'm glad I was able to come to Vincennes. After all, I was able to meet Mitsuki here. But of course, I couldn't say that right now. After our meals were distributed, we sat in a circle and started eating.
あら、なんか野菜が不揃いね。すみません。え？こう空中に放り投げてズバズバ切ったのですが、なかなかうまくいきませんでした。
God dang it!
包丁でそんなことしたの？危ないわよ、本当に。はい、切れない包丁はかえって危ないということ実感できました。そういうことじゃなくて、人参とかじゃがいもとか空中に浮かんでいる状態ではそもそも切れないんじゃない？そんなことありませんよ。持ち重りのする真剣であれば。本当に危ないわね。食べ物で遊ぶのはやめなさいな。いえ、むしろ真面目だったというか。なお悪いわよ。この夏合宿の前になぎなた部の合宿があったんです。そちらの食事の時も練習は重ねたのですが。何の練習をしてるんだか。
Konami had apparently entered the Naginata tournament a week earlier. I didn't know of all the details, but it sounded like she may have made it pretty far.
こんな風にみんなでカレーを食べたりするのも案外いいものね。
We'll probably find out the placement in Konami's route, which by the way will be the route I do next, since people are consistently asking for Konami. So I just said, you know what? After I'm done with Tamie, Marika, and Mitsuki, I will do Konami. Anyways, it is.
泳ぐのは疲れちゃったけどさ、マサヤくんが羨ましかったわよ。ただ水遊びがメインの行事ですからね。マサヤさん帰って気の毒かと。あら、なーによ、ミツキったらやけにマサヤくんの肩を持つじゃない。そんなことはないです。単なる事実じゃないですか。暑そうですものね。シスター三島はもっと暑そうでしたが。
It was hot. Would have been fine if I could have undressed, same with the sister.
脱いだらすごそうです。
That wasn't what I meant. By the way, I've been kind of curious about this. I asked everyone. Why did it take nearly an hour for you guys to head out to the lake? I considered taking a nap. And when I did, they looked between one another with odd expressions on their faces.
それは秘密だと言ったでしょ。
Huh?
まあまあ。マサヤくん、理由は何だと思う？
Because everyone was completely worn out? Why then? We're cleaning the rooms or something.
正解を言うと、着替えの時大騒ぎになるからよ。
Huh? What happened when you were changing?
だってねえ。
Usual boob groping between girls. After a pause, Ayaka gazed at everyone in an oddly insistent way.
やはり気になりますからね。普段秘密のベールに覆われているところですから。秘密のベールってなんか大げさね。普段気痩せして見える志保さんですが、脱いだらとても素敵でした。こらこら。
That's what it was. I inadvertently looked over at Mitsuki, who was sitting beside me. That's true. I am curious. Yeah.
泣いてしまうわよ。
Mitsuki blushed and shook her head.
水泳の授業の時はそんなことなかったのに、触ってきたりするんだから。
Oh!
あ あなた何感動してるのよ。
No.
授業の時は遅れたら先生に叱られてしまうものね。だからなのよ、きっと。ええ、そうなんでしょうね。
I don't know why, but seeing like that last kanji on her swimsuit, strangely enough, reminds me of Takeshi's Castle, because there's that one game where they have to swing from a rope in order to stick to like what's the goddamn English word for that? I know the German word is Klettverschluss. Or just Klett. There we go. Velcro. Like where they have these Velcro suits and have to basically swing from the rope, you know, and land on like this Velcro surface that looks like a window. Like that was like one of the games in Takeshi's Castle, and by God, I need to watch some Takeshi's Castle again at some point. Takeshi's Castle is such wonderful chaos. Anyways.
なに熱っぽいため息ついてるのよ。そんなにびっくりしたの？初参加の人って周りにとっては物珍しいから一層大変だったでしょ？まったくペタペタペタペタとくすぐったかったわ。
Oh! I'm sorry.
スタイルがいいとどうしてもそういう目に遭っちゃうのよ。千穂もそうだったんじゃない？ああ、ですね。私も初めて参加したんですけど。やっぱりね。こういうのが女の勲章というやつなのかしら。律子も今回が初でしょ？でもあんたは普通に着替えられたかな？悪かったですね。
Oh boy. Oh boy, Ayaka just... I do believe Ayaka just pushed a dagger right in her chest.
ただ、私がしっかりとガードしていましたから、むしろそのせいかと思います。
You got it, her?
こう、両手を広げて、迫り来る魔の手からお姉様をお守りしました。全裸でよくああいうポーズができるわよね。それにびっくりしてしまったわ。
She was naked?
お尻を向けたりしてすみませんでした。そういうことじゃなくて。でも、こういうこともきっといい思い出になるんじゃないかしらね。大人になったら普通やらないというかできないでしょうし。ええ、かもしれないわね。美月さんも来てよかったでしょ？前は湖で泳ぐなんてって嫌がっていたけど。
She gave an honest
今
nod.
年は初参加の人も多いということだわ。こうして物事が動いていくのって決して悪いことではないと思うのだけどね。
Lisa said as she gazed at girls who had gathered on the shore. Even when it was lights out, no one went straight to sleep like they were supposed to. Instead, they entertained themselves by talking about who liked whom and who they admired, or who they admired. Mitsuki was 1 hour from swimming this afternoon, so she wanted to get straight to sleep. When her peers attempted to drag her into the conversation, she replied with a purposely drowsy sounding "aww" to avoid them. Someone's gonna mention that they have it out from us, and she's just immediately gonna sit up. Who?
でもこういう話題ってやっぱり定番なのかしらね。
I actually thought about it. This was her first time ever sleeping in the same room with friends.
こういうのも悪くないんでしょうけど。でも、いい加減眠いわ。
say about Mathia? What do you think of him? She had been nodding off, but felt as though she had been reeled up from the depths of slumber. Compared to before, she actively strained her ears as she gazed at the dimly lit ceiling. She could tell her heart was starting to pump faster too. I'm not really sure yet, but he's pretty cool, I guess. He does seem surprisingly reliable, and his face isn't half bad. Yeah, not bad at all. But he's always with those girls from the White Lily Society. I bet he must like one of them. Whose voice was that? Mitsuki pursed her lips tightly shut. The voices kept saying, "Huh, huh," but of course nobody came forward. Since she had held her voice back, nobody seemed able to identify her. Her heart jumped into her throat. Her back was drenched in sweat. Mitsuki told herself, Masa was nothing more than a member of the White Lily Society. That's how it was before, anyway. But now it was different. It was true that they had been spending a lot of time together lately. That was the case this afternoon, too. Do you really like Mathia? Wouldn't go that far. It's just, well... If I'm up against the Soleil de Col, I wouldn't stand a chance. Oh no! Why would you mention that? Ah! With that being said, everyone seemed to lose interest and change topics to a different classmate. The same could not be said for Mitsuki, though. She couldn't get those last words out of her head. In one ear, she could hear that persistent whisper, and the other was the voice from her memories. The sound of Masa's voice in her head made her quiver. I want you to know that, at the very least, there's one person who likes the moon more than the sun. The persistent whisper, which had first overwhelmed her, was gradually pushed away by Masa's voice, then retreated completely. After doing so, sleep finally enveloped her. Summer training camp! I don't know why I said it like that. My fucking cheek. The inside of my cheek is still hurt, so it still hurts sometimes. Especially with something like cider, but I'm drinking anyway. Like, it's really upsetting, that slightly bit open spot in my cheek.
Mitsuki-san, 眠そうね。疲れていたというのに、夕べはあんまり眠れなくて。
Mitsuki stifled one yawn after another.
環境が変わると眠りが浅くなるというのはありますからね。私も今日は頭がすっきりしません。でもそれだけじゃないでしょ。美月の部屋でも夜はなかなかやかましかったんじゃない？まあそうですね。
Oh, did you have pillow fights and stuff?
それもあるけど、その後よ。
After? You just slept, right?
枕を並べているんだもの。おしゃべりしたくもなるじゃない。
Oh. That's how it was? I've been in a room by myself, so I conked out immediately.
私もちょっと眠い。なかなか話が終わらないんだもの。
What did you talk about?
どんなって。恋のお話です。
Love? That's... I see.
やっぱり定番なのかしらね。英達付属の修学旅行の時もそんな話が出てきたし。
It did?
男子部屋ではそうじゃなかったの？
I couldn't go, remember? I couldn't pay the deposit.
そうだったっけ？
Ah, yes, depression.
まさやくん、大人気だったわよ。彼ってかっこいいわ、なんて。
There you go again. As I dismissed her comment with a wave of my hand, Ayaka laughed in response. It was hard to tell how much of what she said was true. With all that went on this afternoon still fresh in my mind, the now empty lake seemed awfully lonely. The surface of the lake shone brightly in the sunset and was quite dazzling. I thought it was a pretty lovely sight. I turned around at the sound of approaching footsteps.
Masaya-san.
Hello? He gave me a small nod and stood beside me.
それで、用というのは?
Yeah, have a seat for a sec.
ええ。
Since that's what I had in mind, I did bring this with me. I sat, then brandished a towel.
いいわよ。別に直で。
Yeah.
夕方になると、ここってこんな風になるんだ。
I know what y'alls want. Like, I know what y'alls want, and I'm a man of the people. There you go. Bask in it. Bask in the ass. Anyways. The fuck. She gazed out the scarlet-colored lake and squinted her eyes.
綺麗よね。みんなも見に来ればいいのに。
Yeah, but I'm grateful for that right now. That nobody came. And she called here so we could talk alone.
それで、何の話を?
I was so nervous that it felt like something was stuck in my throat, so I got my breathing under control. Next, I gazed at her face. Listen, I like you, Mitsuki. So, please go out with me. That was all I said, but I felt incredibly short of breath. I simulated this over and over in my head, so thanks to that, I somehow managed to say it without mumbling.
ちょっと待ってよ。
Mitsuki looked away.
あなた、マサヤさん、本当にそれでいいの?
I didn't really get what she meant and tilted my head gently. When I did, she corrected herself.
本当に私でいいの?
Huh? I understood what you meant now, but why would you put it that way? I'm telling you to have feelings for you.
だって、夕べも話に出たのよ。
Oh?
昼間話題に出たわね。夕べ寝る前に恋の話をしたって。
What about it?
私の部屋でもマサヤさんのことが言われたのよ。マサヤさんはきっと白百合会の誰かが好きに違いないって。
Ah, I get it. Worried about Risa again, aren't you? She neither confirmed nor denied it, but I had no doubt about it. Don't be foolish!
バカとは何よ?
Like, I feel like, why did they translate it as don't be foolish instead of don't be stupid or don't be an idiot? Because, did you already forget what I said? About how there are people who like the moon more than the sun?
覚えてるわよ、ちゃんと。忘れられるはずないじゃない。
And why?
だとしても、リセさんは魅力的だし。
Even so, he used the same phrasing, then continued my comment. You're the one I like, Mitsuki.
ありがとう。本当に
My heart!
嬉しい。
My heart! You know fucking tears of joy are my goddamn weakness! Mitsuki rubbed her eyes. She turned back to me, but I spied a distinctly different tinge of red from the sunset on her cheeks.
私もです。私も マサヤさんが好きなの。
The impact I felt in that moment was like someone had poured ice water down my back. My entire body shivered, but the tremor I felt wasn't a bad one by any means. In fact, it was extraordinarily comfortable. My heart pulsed deep inside my body, and with each beat, joy spread through me. Then, you'll go out with me?
けど
But?
私みたいなきつい女を彼女にして、マサヤさん後悔しなければいいんだけど。
Rough? You think so?
最初はきつく当たったじゃない。
Well, that was then.
それにマサヤさんと付き合ったとしても驚愕に対する態度は変えないわよ。
I wasn't planning to force you to change your mind. I do think you're the type of person who says what's on their mind relatively clearly, but...
悪かったわね。
He pouted a little.
私可愛くないのよ。
That's where you're wrong. No, that's not true. I actually thought her personality and the way she spoke was really cute. I think that side of you is attractive too, you know? Confidence. Have confidence. I'm here for you.
おだてると後が怖いわよ。
She broke out into a full-fledged smile. We didn't feel like going back to camp just yet, so we didn't move from that spot.
実を言うと、私悩んでいたのよ。以前、リセさんたちと私の様子を見に来てくれたことがあったわね。
Huh? Uh-huh.
その時から私、あなたに惹かれていたの。それで悩んでしまって、はためには元気がないように映ったのかもしれないけど。
But was that really something to worry about?
だって、私から告白したところで受け入れられるはずないって思ったし。少なくとも、最初の頃、あなたは白入り会の人たちばかりと仲良くしていた。それはそうでしょ？
He gets along with Konomi, he gets along with Ritsuko, he gets along with Tamie, and none of the other students talk to him. I guess so.
それで、柄にもなく悩んで、携帯の壁紙にもしたりして。
Huh? What do you mean?
だから、あなたの写真。
Oh, how about that?
何よ、その反応は。
Nothing. It just kinda moved me. No, seriously. Huh? Oh, I get it! So during the cell phone incident where you were arguing with the headmistress and went completely pale...
そういうこと。もし見られていたらどうなっていたことか。今思い返してもゾッとするわ。
I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't want to think about what would happen on the day that bizarrely strict headmistress sees my photo on another student's cell phone.
でもね、それだけじゃないのよ、本当は。
は？
そのうち教えてあげるわ。機会があったらね。
Sure. He also had no idea what she was talking about, but I didn't think it was worth pestering her about.
でも、こういうことになって、私、本当に嬉しいわ。
Mitsuki?
早々に学校に戻ってきた甲斐もあったというものね。
Is that why you cut your trip home short? She covered her mouth, looking like she'd messed up. Didn't you say it was because of family troubles? I could clearly remember what she had said, and was considering asking her about it sooner or later.
ごめんなさい。
He suddenly bowed her head to me.
家族の問題がどうとかって話。それ真っ赤な嘘なのよ。
Ah, I see.
本当に申し訳ないわ。あの時のマサヤさん、とても真摯な眼差しで。嘘をつきながら、私、心苦しくて。
No, it's fine. But why did you lie? What was the real reason?
嘘をついたのは、本当の理由が気恥ずかしかったから。だってそれ、あなたに会いたかったからなんだもの。でもそんなこととても言えないじゃない。だから嘘をついたの。ごめんなさい。
It's okay. And he suddenly bites into his arm. Like she just says, "What are you doing?" I'm holding back the urge to cuddle. Really are the modest type. You're super cute. I didn't just go for her outward appearance. She was beautiful on the inside too.
服のことでしょ。
Mitsuki played dumb, but I shook my head. Well, your clothes were cute too. By the way, didn't you have some sort of policy about wearing skirts?
どうなのかしらね。そこまで意識したことはなかったと思うのだけど。ただそれも、もしかすると、リサさんのせいかもしれないわ。
What do you mean?
彼女は子供の時から可愛くて、女の子っぽかったから。同じ土俵に立ちたくないと、無意識のうちには、思ったこともあったのかもしれない。
I see. You two were childhood friends too?
まあね。まあ、前期から一緒の人は、みんなそう言えるわね。
But you two were especially close. Isn't that why you were self-conscious about it?
ええ。
Mitsuki was very beautiful, both inside and out, but how overly modest she was might be her one flaw. And I suspect a part of that was how big a presence Risa was for her. When you become dazzled by a brilliant being, sometimes you lose sight of yourself.
でも、思い切って買ってみてよかったわ。鏡を見て、自分でも新鮮な気分になれたし。
Yeah, I think it looks great on you.
マサヤさんは、こういう格好って好き？
I do. To be honest, I was more interested in the person currently wearing it than anyone else, but I don't think badly about outfits like... I think badly of outfits like this, at least.
そっか。
Mitsuki seemed pleased with that response.
実は、服のことを意識したのも、マサヤさんのせいなのよ。
Did I say something?
私が実家から戻ってきた日、私服が新鮮だみたいなことを言っていたでしょ。
Well, if you think about it, I don't really get to see you in your street clothes very often. It's a pretty refreshing feeling seeing your school friends wearing their ordinary clothes.
私考えたこともなかったんだけど、そういうものなんだってその時思って、その後、自信を持つようにって言ってくれて、それで思い切ってこんなガーリーなミニスカートを買っちゃったのよね。
A girl picking out a wardrobe with me in mind. That was a new experience. I was definitely present in Mitsuki's consciousness. Getting to personally experience that made me incredibly happy. Yeah, it really does look great on you.
とはいえ、ちょっと冒険しすぎたかしらね。
She blushed and pulled her knees up against her body.
股のところがスースーするもの。視線があからさまよ、マサヤさん。
Sorry.
あなたって正直な人。ある意味安心なのかしらね。
He's just like it's obvious where you're looking, Masaya. Peach. What? Peachy.
視線が
Whoops. Reassuring?
誰かに心移りでもしたらすぐにわかりそうだもの。
Oh, I really doubt that. You doubt which? That you would be able to tell or that you would have a change of heart?
あら、意外とポーカーフェイスなの？
Not that. I'm sure I won't have a change of heart. If you're seriously worried about it, I guess you really are still lacking confidence, huh?
ずるい言い方だわ。
My phrasing, huh? Then I gently put my hand on her chin and she twitched it with surprise. Despite being startled, she didn't look away or brush aside my hand. As I gazed at her bright red face, I started to lean in ever so slightly closer. Close your eyes. Though it was only for an instant, our lips most certainly met. My face must have been bright red right now, too. I let go. I made up my mind, but suddenly my heart felt tight.
ごめん。
My phrasing was bad, and I figured if I did this, you'd understand it right away. Just how much I like you.
やっぱり、ずるい言い方よ。
Sorry.
急なことで驚いたけど、私も嬉しかったから。
I felt as though we understood how each other felt for sure this time. Both satisfied, we gazed at one another. We were in a bit of a rush on the way back.
夕飯までに戻らなかったら変に思われるもの。
As what Mitsuki said, it'll be dangerous if we walk too fast. There aren't any streetlights around here either.
けど。
It was a restless reply. I don't think it matters if they do wonder about it personally. It wasn't like it was something we needed to hide. We hadn't talked about that aspect of our relationship just yet, so I kept quiet and followed after her. At the exact moment, she let out a sigh of relief. Oh! Are you okay? I panicked and rushed over to her, but, Huh? She was desperately trying to hide her underwear. Are you hurt? I approached by looking away and held out my hand.
大丈夫。
Luckily, from what I could see, she came out of it without a scratch.
結局転んでしまったわね。
Now that you mentioned it, that topic did come up. Guess it really might have been better if you hadn't worn a skirt.
見た？
I didn't. Okay, only a little. She glared at me semi-happily and poked gently at my side.
じゃあ行きましょう。
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. A desire for each other. I really like this background. It was the day after we came back from the summer training camp. This time around, we decided to work on our homeworks together in my room.
マサヤさんの部屋に来るのも久しぶりね。
I'm kind of disappointed she's wearing this one again. Like, I actually preferred the other one. The last time she was here was that one early morning when she and Monica searched my room. I was simply driven out of the room at the time, so this would be her first proper visit.
相変わらず物が少ないのね。
More or less, money isn't a problem for me now, but there's no real fixing my frugal spirit. It wasn't unheard of for you to get so used to a poor lifestyle that your materialistic greed ran short. Either way, this dorm room was more than sufficient to lead an ordinary life.
あの時は何も見つからなかったけど、その後いけないものが増えたりしてないでしょうね。
Naughty? What do you mean?
だから、その、エッチな本とかよ。
No, I didn't. Vincent is pretty strict about that sort of thing. I could order it online, but since everything went through the school, it would naturally get around that I ordered something dirty. I could have picked some up while shopping over summer vacation, but then Guardian would just end up checking my luggage anyway.
そう。ならよかったわ。
But are they really that terrible?
え？
I just mean erotic books and stuff. I think those are pretty standard for all men.
個人的には感心しないわね。
Let's see.
でも、そうなの？そんなに普通のこと？
I personally don't own any porn books. And again, I do own access to the internet, so... I think so. My friend confirmed it too.
そのお友達はなんて言っていたの？
To be honest, I was kind of worried about it too. I said without answering her question directly.
悩むって何に？
When we were studying together, my heart was going crazy. It wasn't just my heart that was going crazy, but I left it at that. So I asked my friend for advice and asked something to the effect of, what is it?
それで、友達はなんて？
Well, he said it was probably because I liked you. When I heard that, I agreed that he was probably right. After all, not just any girl would make my heart race. I was aware of you specifically, and that was likely the reason why I was attracted to you.
それで、そのことといけないものとどういう関係があるのかしら？
Oh, it's Mitsuki for you. She remembered how the conversation had developed. So then I said it, basically, in the sense that I want you? I put it as gently as possible, but the meaning behind my words seemed to have gotten through to her. She turned bright red and her eyes went wide, then she finally looked downward. Is that, bad? She got quiet, her fur still hung. Face, not first. What the fuck? I'm sure Mitsuki is pretty fastidious. If that were the case, that only made me think it was better to come out and ask.
わからない。
She slowly shook her head.
とりあえず、嫌ではないと思うけど、なんというか、実感が湧かなくて。
Oh, don't fucking tell me how she's gonna ask us to break her too. Don't fucking go for that twice. But at least fucking Marika asked for it. Chris did not ask for it. In fact, neither did Margit. Those two did not ask for it. Now I did it anyway. So yeah, how about that? Anyways, doesn't feel real.
だって考えても見てよ。
Mitsuki idly drew invisible circles with her fingertips on the table next to her.
私はこれまでずっとバンセンヌという閉ざされた空間で生きてきて、帰省したところで実家の周辺に友達がいるわけでもないわ。だから家にこもっているか、家族と出かけるか、あるいは一人で買い物に出る程度で、つまり男子との付き合いなんて全然なかったのよ。
Yeah, it sounded about right to me. Well, sure, I hadn't been chosen as a sample to study here simply because there were so many people like her.
だから、なんていうのかし
Whoops.
ら。
Mitsuki pointed her eyes upward at me.
男子から自分が求められるというのが、いまいちピンとこないというか。
Ah, I get it. I was sure if she had gone to an ordinary co-ed school, she would have been extremely popular. Unfortunately for her, there were no boys around. She had now once been conscious of the gazes she would have taken notice of in an ordinary setting. Well, I guess it'll feel real to you sooner or later.
そう
When we kissed, I was really happy. How was it for you?
それは私だって意外なようでもあったのだけど、とても素敵で心地のいい行為だなって思った。
It's not unexpected at all. If you care for someone, it would obviously make you happy. And I think that's what it means to want someone. I took her hand, and as I had expected, she twitched for a moment when I leaned in close. However, she immediately closed her eyes from me. Our lips touched for a little longer than last time. When our faces parted, she was blushing all the way up to her ears. It was an extremely adorable sight.
そうね。
She touched the pad of her fingers to her lips and whispered,
これが好きな人を求めるということなんだわ。きっと。けど今は宿題をする時だわ。そうでしょ？
Yeah. To be honest, I'd rather get physical with her than do homework, but I wasn't about to say that. With that being said, I readied my homework. By the way, why did you end up going back home again? At the time, I had assumed it was due to the circumstances at home, but that turned out to be a lie, and it wouldn't have anything to do with it.
両親に怒られてしまったのよ。
Mad at you? Why?
私、親にも嘘をついて学校に戻ってきたの。
So they found out about it. She nodded.
両親は疑う様子もなかったのに、学校側がわざわざ連絡を入れたのよ。もう、万千ヌの細かさには参るわよ。知ってるかしら？休みの間も生徒たちをなるべく学校にいさせるようにしていること。
They do.
夏合宿がまさにそうよ。ああいうイベントって生徒たちを戻すために用意された飴なの。
Wow. I see. Sounds like it's pretty effective. There were an awful lot of people there when we assembled at the training camp.
にもかかわらず、戻ったら戻ったで家に問い合わせるんだから。ほんと、参るわよね。
So your parents were pretty angry after all?
そうね。ただ、怒る以上に驚いていたみたい。なんで嘘をついてまで学校に戻ろうとしたのって。
What did you tell them?
正直には言えないから、適当にのらりくらりと。ただ、夏合宿には出たいと言って、ようやく戻るのを許されたの。
Was Mitsuki's household strict too? All the girls who had been students at Vincenzo's primary course were fundamentally daughters of respectable families. I see. I'm sure it must have been rough. A simple round trip still eats a lot of time.
まあね。
I'm happy that you went to all that trouble. I really was happy and ended up staring feverishly at her without meaning to. As a result, she closed her eyes of her own accord for the first time. It sent a shiver of joy up my spine. There we go. When our lips met, I could certainly feel our relationship growing deeper. Come on, stupid ass can. There we go. I didn't spill anything. Knock, knock, knock. By the way, should we keep our relationship a secret? I was worried about Mitsuki since she had been late to meet up with everyone for dinner following my confession.
そうね。私はそうしたいのだけど、どうかしら。
I don't mind either way, but did you just get mad if they found out?
さあ、それはわからないわね。万千ヌってそもそも異性の交友はほとんど聞かないし。 ただ、学内で恋愛沙汰があっても咎められたことはないから。それから類推すると、特に問題はないのかしら。
I do believe it would be an issue just because the goddamn headmistress is gonna be a bitch about it again. Romantic relationships on campus?
つまり、女の子同士でってことよ。万世のはそういうのよくあるから。
Even the teachers won't get mad. Maybe it would be best to keep it secret after all.
だって、単純に気恥ずかしいじゃない。
I see.
それに、私の場合、イメージもあるもの。
An image?
はっきり言って、私は共学反対派の急先鋒だわ。まあ、その気持ち自体は今も変わりないけど。とにかく最初は、マサヤさんを追い出そうとしていたのよ。それが、恋人だなんて、なんだかコロッと変わったみたいで、恥ずかしいじゃない。
Are we ever gonna find out in this route that she was the one that texted him that Chio was in trouble? You're worrying way too much about it. I gave a forced smile. Besides, given the unanimous decision at Premier Judgment, that means you voted in my favor too, Mitsuki.
だとしてもよ。
She puffed up her cheeks.
それでなくても、私は男なんてってことを公言していて、それがちゃっかり彼女になってしまっているんだもの。周りは本当呆れるわよ。
Think about it like this, seeing the shock on their faces in itself is probably gonna be fucking entertaining as hell. If you're that adamant about it, I personally have no objections.
ありがとう。
But if we do that, we won't be able to flirt in public.
いずれにしろ、大っぴらにはしません。
Oops. That's kind of too bad.
そういえば、27日に星酔いの集いというイベントがあるの。あなた知っていた？
Nope, no idea what it is. What sort of event is it?
みんなで校庭に集まって星座を眺めるのよ。
That's nice. Sounds pretty fun. Very romantic even.
ただ、本当言うと、イベントの眼目は星座を眺めることにあるのではないの。
Oh?
意中の人と一緒になる。というのが、みんなの本当の関心事なのよ。
I was impressed. That was much more romantic.
でも隠す以上、一緒になることはできないわね。
Could we just pretend it's a coincidence?
それもちょっと難しいのよね。
I don't know for sure what the event was like, but if Mitsuki said so, she was probably right.
残念。諦めるしかないわね。
You seem to have her mind firmly made up about this.
だからって、他の人と一緒になったりしたらダメだからね。
I know, I don't really have any interest in stargazing anyway, so I'll just pass on the whole event.
ごめんなさいね。妙なことを気にして。
It's okay.
その代わりと言ってはなんだけど、夏休みの間は二人で出かけたりしましょうよ。
Oh, that sounds nice. A date?
出かけるだけよ。
Sounds like a date to me. And society calls that a date. How about right now?
今は宿題をしている最中じゃない。
Huh? I was vaguely surprised, but Mitsuki's face also went blank.
何か？
No, I was thinking I'd sure like to hang out together rather than do homework.
ダメダメ。
She immediately shot that down.
まだ宿題はたくさん残ってるのよ。
I know, but...
デート、失礼。お出かけだけど。
She went out of her way to correct herself.
それも、私としては宿題が終わってからというつもりだったの。
Like she just looks away for a second, looks back, he's fucking done. So when will the date be?
いいわね。
Yeah, got it. But I didn't think she was a serious person. Just hearing we were going out on a date was enough to take my mind completely off homework.
ぱり可愛くない女って思うでしょ。
No, not at all. I actually think you're really appealing and level-headed.
またお世辞言ってる。
I'm telling the truth. We took a short break from our homework and immersed ourselves in kissing. I was sure this degree of slacking off would be allowed. Evening star gathering. I don't know why I'm saying that. We blitzed through the homework after that, but due to frequent interruptions, aka kissing, it was nearly the end of our summer vacation before we managed to finish it all. We ended up at the school gates and got on the bus together.
これでもう大丈夫ね。
Mitsuki twisted around to look outside, then turned back around. We had arranged to meet at the gates to prevent anyone from seeing us together. Nobody seemed to be heading out right now, so the inside of the bus was empty. As such, I grabbed her hand. She smiled happily, then wrapped her hands around mine. Like physical contact like this felt completely natural at this point. Are you sure you are really okay with going to the park?
ええ、人の多いようなところに出かけるよりは二人でのんびりしたかったから。
I see. There was a park which doubled as a sporting area, a short walk away from the station. It was where I had talked to my friend Ida before. I hope we didn't run into him. He's gonna run into his sister that's going around with another dude. He's just gonna... That's my friend's sister. Yo! Oh, that reminds me, didn't he say something about the park?
それに飽きたら少し歩きましょうよ。
Oh, sure.
距離的には近くても、私駅前ってほとんど知らないのよね。学校がある間は外には出ないでしょ。休みの時は実家に戻るし。もう何年も安室山に住んでいるというのに、結構謎だわ、あの辺。
When I read stuff like that, people at Vincent really felt like court officials to me.
知っているのは、この服を買ったお店くらいよ。
That shop is pretty good taste.
そうね。
We got off the bus, still holding hands. Thinking about it, this may have been the first time we'd walked around like this. After all, it's not like we could do this sort of thing on campus.
そういえば、お弁当でも作ってくればよかったかしらね。
Oh, you would make those for us?
ええ。じゃあ、今度ね。
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Never eaten a girl's homemade cooking before.
私、案外料理は得意なのよ。それはこの前の流しそうめんで分かったでしょ。
Oh, I guess so. We held an Nagashi Somen tournament in the form of a collaboration between the White Lily and Red Rose societies a while back. What? Both Mitsuki and Teresa were really motivated, so it was pretty difficult to get a full meal out of it, but the flavor alone was ordinary. Extraordinary.
そういえば、あの時結局、引き分けみたいな形に終わってしまったのよね。どっちが美味しかった？
Huh? She was smiling, but I could tell she would never forgive me for the rest of our lives. I said the White Lily Societies was better. Well, obviously the batch you made.
そうよね。
Like, low-key, I probably wouldn't remember the taste anymore. To be honest, I couldn't really tell the difference. But that would be my secret. Of course, both wicks wouldn't be delicious anyway. When we sat on the bench, I made up my mind and put my arm around her shoulders. She went stiff for a moment, but then immediately cuddled up to me. Well, she's so soft. Not just her chest. Holding her girl felt soft all over. Sweet smell of her hair tickled my nose and made me go dizzy.
熱くないの？
Oh, he's odd in a certain sense, if you know what I mean. I am. I want to stay like this. You?
ええ、 私も。ダメよ。外ではダメ。
When I leaned in for a kiss, she gently pushed me away by the forehead. Oh, okay. I'd been subconsciously drawn to her lips just now. My whole body felt like it was on fire, and my heart thundered hard within my chest.
この公園って
Mitsuki shyly looked away.
結構混んでるのね。
Yeah, it is. There are a lot of kids around too, but the couples really stood out among them. That's why we had even walked around the park in the first place. It was to find this empty bench.
人気のスポットなの？
I wonder. Oh. As I brushed my voice so she didn't seem to notice my surprise. That's right, now I remember. I remember what my friend Ida had said about this place. You don't know, a lot of couples come here late at night. They said it's like an open-air love hotel. Not much was obvious even at this time of day, and it only got worse at night. And surprisingly, there don't seem to be any couples fooling around in broad daylight.
何の変哲もなさそうではあるけれど。
Mitsuki sounded fairly incredulous. I can't exactly tell her it's a mecca for horny couples. Maybe it's because it has tennis court stuff. I'm pretty sure it's cheap enough for even ordinary people to use.
なるほどね。まさやさんもテニスとかしに来たりしたの？
Nah, I couldn't afford it. Nah, I didn't. I never actually came here very much.
そうなの？でも家は近いんでしょ？
When I was a kid, I went to a children's park that was even closer. But after I got older, well...
何？
It wouldn't do a man any good coming to a place like this.
そういうものかもしれないわね。
Mitsuki leaned against me.
私も一人ならこんなところに来てもつまらなかったと思う。でも、まさやさんがいるなら。
Put a little more strength behind my arm, propping her shoulder as well. After enjoying a delicious lunch at Papatore Moon Rock, we strolled around the area. Mitsuki stopped the place. I followed her line of sight and noticed we were in front of the boutique she had purchased her outfit from. Even though I was more or less aware of the shop's existence, I never paid any real attention to it before. Are you going to get more skirts going forward?
そうね。結構気に入ってしまったし、スースーするのはやっぱり気になるけど。
I'd expect that sort of impression from a man cross-dressing. It was kind of odd to hear that coming from a woman. Breezy, but your uniform has a skirt too.
そうだけど、でもあれより短いもの。
She had a point.
まさやさん、本当に目線があからさまよ。
I'm sorry. I had been looking, and she could tell right away when someone was looking at her provocatively.
まあ、相手が私であればいいけれど。
Huh? Are you sure?
こら。
She pulled me gently by the ear.
そうじゃなくて、他の人を見たりしたらダメってことよ。
Yeah, of course.
本当かしらね。
Yeah, really. My heart goes crazy because you are the only girl I'm looking at. Oh, I mentioned that before.
ええ。じゃあ、約束よ。
She said that before holding out her pinky. That adorable gesture made my heart grow tight. It really is adorable on the inside too.
嘘ついたらパンチする。
If you tell a lie, I'll fucking knock you out. What she said was a little frightening though. By the way, when's your birthday?
6月の17日よ。
I see. That's too bad.
何が？
I was thinking it might be nice to buy her something here for a birthday present.
ああ。本当に残念ね。でも、いいのかしら。プレゼントだなんて。
Oh, I can actually see where Papatore Moon Rock is here. It's over here. Never noticed that. At least it seems to. That looks like Papatore Moon Rock when we're actually in there. Of course, after all, you bought that outfit because you were thinking of me. That made me super happy. So, would sort of be my way of doing something in return.
そう。じゃあ遠慮なく。来年になったらね。
Yeah.
ここが以前、マサヤさんが住んでいたところ。
Well, just for a short time. My old family home had new owners now, so we just took a quick look at it before leaving and coming here. From there, the apartment I lived in was about a 10-minute walk away from there. She said she wanted to see where I lived before, so we swung by. Mitsuki looked up the apartment, a bit surprised. Run down, huh?
いえ、別に、その...
Oh, he knows it's run down. No, it's true. The thing I was happiest about after enrolling at Vincent was the living environment.
そう。
Also the food. I was so moved the first time I ate there.
バンセンヌの食事は美味しいものね。
I was really happy to be surrounded by so many girls.
話が急に変な方向に曲がったのね。
No, I mean, before enrolling, I'd never really had much experience with the opposite sex. I'd have to call it enriching.
しょうがないわね。
Well, naturally, it's not like I was okay with just anyone. Still, doing physical labor with a bunch of old men was really difficult. Still, I wonder what I should do with this apartment.
どうするって？
Well, I'm still on the lease.
あら、そうだったの？
At first, you know, there's a chance I'd only be attending for a semester.
でも今は少なくとも3月までいられるわ。もったいないんじゃないかしら。
I guess. For the record, part of the reason why I kept the lease was because I was thinking of my old man. But that bastard was radio silent like always, so was there really a need for me to worry about him that much? Yeah, maybe it's time to end the lease. Something told me that I'd made up my mind, so... Something told me now that I've made up my mind, I should put it into action.
そうしなさいな。ひょっとすれば卒業まで学校にいられるかもしれないのだし。
Yeah. We went straight from there to the realtors. I was able to cancel the lease without much issue, but was given a surprising sales pitch at the end. I've got a great property for a couple like yourselves. Tell me more. Like he just immediately swore, tell me more. I told him I wasn't planning on moving anytime soon, but he was as characteristically pushy as you'd expect of a salesman and dragged us along just to take a look. It's really close to the station, but it's quiet and gets a fair amount of sunlight. It's only 7 years old and available at a reasonable price at that. We followed after the realtor as he prattled on and arrived at our destination in about 10 minutes. Yo, he's currently trying to sell a house to a high schooler. What do you think? Pretty nice place, right? Yeah, pretty nice place. The trees look very nice, but it is kind of lacking a roof. Don't change the goddamn background for something like that. When you're gonna not make it the inside of the room? Yes, I suppose so. Once I actually got to see it, I could tell he wasn't completely exaggerating. We can take a look outside too. How about it? No, we're really okay for now. I won't be moving until at least March. We can look at it, but we can take a look again then. Understood. Our company looks forward to working with you again at that time.
ちょっと驚いてしまったわね。
After we said goodbye to the real estate agent in front of the station, Mitsuki let out a sigh of relief.
どうせだなんて。
You said it.
はしたないわよ。
You don't like that sort of thing? I asked her just in case, and she tilted her head, deep in thought.
でも、結局のところ、よくわからないのよね。
I had another moment of, oh my god, a cringy line immediately came to mind. Was it like living together, it's improper. You don't like that sort of thing? But at the end of the day, I'm not really sure. And he just looks over at her. I mean, I guess I can't quite imagine it myself, but I know for sure that I'm gonna live a happy life if you're the first person I see every morning. Like that is roughly that was the first thing that came to mind. My God. Anyways.
つい半年前までは男子になんか何の興味もなかった。それは本当のことよ。なのに
She stopped mid-sentence and stared at me.
今はあなたがいる。結局知っているようで案外知らないのが自分という存在なのかもしれないわね。
Oops. That may have been the...
Fixotropy.
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 Fixotropy. Fixotropy. Fixotropy. That may have been the fixotropy that Risa had talked about previously at work. I think she said something like this. I think most of Vincent's students were in a solidified state. But that's not a permanent thing at all. The right stimulation will cause them to change states. I think you were that stimulation. Well, either way, it's all in the future. There's no need to worry about it right now.
そうね。
We continued our conversation as we took another stroll around the area. What are you going to do after you graduate, Mitsuki?
私は番宣の女子大に進むわ。
Vincent even managed to college. Are you going to live in the dorms again then?
いいえ、番宣の女子大に寮はないから。だから、私もどこかを借りないといけないわね。
Her parents lived in Tokyo, so it would naturally come down to that. I'm sure your parents will be lonely. They'll only be able to see you every now and again.
そうね。でも、実を言うと、無理をしてまで入れてくれたのよ。
Overboard?
だって、私の家は普通のサラリーマンだもの。
Oh, I see. If I remember correctly, donations were powerful motivators for enrollment starting from primary course. Coming from an ordinary family, that sort of contribution would surely be a heavy financial burden.
娘が生まれたら絶対に番宣ね。そう決めていたらしいわ。まあ、私は良かったと思っているけどね。
What the fuck was that? Thinking about it now, a lot of people seem to have a strong emotional attachment to Vincent. If it remained an all-girls institution, it would eventually go under. Even that couldn't be avoided. Whether there was reformation or it maintained the status quo, it was definitely an issue that couldn't be resolved easily. That really struck home with me all over again. Worn out from walking, we decided to return to the park. Internally, I was concerned about it, but I couldn't stop her either. Hold on. It would be a huge problem if it made her think I didn't like being together. By then, the sun had started to set. It's already dark. We should head home soon. I was really relieved. Ultimately, we hadn't seen anyone doing anything perverted out in the open like I had been worried about.
ちょっと待って。
She pulled on my hand just as I was half stood up. What's wrong?
あれ、あの人たち、何をしてるのかしら。
I had a bad feeling about this, but turned to see what she was looking at.
ちょっと。
Although she kept her voice low, she was shaking me back and forth. I imagine she had received quite a heavy shock. They aren't just kissing. Yeah, it sure looks like it.
嘘しちゃうものなの？キスとか外で。
Her question was so direct it was kind of strange. Well, it's not like it's a crime. I answered her question, but she acted like she hadn't heard me. She was watching them intently. What is it? Mitsuki had covered her mouth with her hand and blushed so hard her ears turned red.
すごい。あんなところまで触ってる。
First they were just making up, now the man was caressing the spot between the woman's legs. They had certainly crossed straight into heavy petting territory now. Don't tell me they're going to do it right here. Even though I tried to dismiss the idea, I also couldn't take my eyes off them. I wasn't sure exactly how long I watched such an intense display of public affection. Mitsuki was instantly taken aback and squeezed my knee hard.
行きましょう。もう。
Yeah, you're right. Despite how vigorously she stood up, she was visibly unsteady on her feet. I held her up by the shoulders as we walked off.
もう大丈夫よ。ありがとう。
Yeah.
本当にびっくりしたわ。まだ心臓がドキドキいってる。
Mitsuki held her forehead and looked up at the night sky.
ああいうことしているカップル、他にもたくさんいたわ。もしかして、あの公園ってそういう人が多いのかしら。
Maybe. I played dumb and agreed with her.
声まで上げてる女の人がいたわよ。
Yeah.
服を剥がせてる人まで。
At least it was only the undergarments. Anything more would have been public indecency, I think.
もう本当に驚いてしまうわ。カルチャーショックってこのことかしら。
I do believe sane couples wouldn't do it in a park at night. The bus is here. Let's go. She said, seeming to have come to and turned toward me. She still seemed a little wobbly, but the shock she felt didn't seem to have subsided just yet.
それにしても、なぜわざわざ外でしたがるのかしらね。それがわからないわ。
Either because they think the cost of a hotel is a waste, or because doing it outside turns them on.
興奮？そんな人いるの？
Oh, my dear naive Mitsuki. You would be surprised. Well, everyone has varying tastes with that sort of thing.
もうあの公園には近寄らない方がいいわね。せっかく気持ちのいい場所なんだけど。
Yeah. She was mostly silent after that, looking largely unable to process the shock she'd received. Summer festival in the neighboring town. She couldn't get what she had seen that night out of her head. It flashed before her eyes at times, and it seemed Marcia was starting to wonder about her. Spacing out when talking alone with someone was a rude thing to do. She knew this in the back of her mind, but couldn't seem to get back into her usual rhythm.
男女って本当にエッチなことするのね。あんまり意識したことがなかったけど、考えてみると私フィクションか何かのようにしか捉えてなかったんだわ。
Those gestures she considered more than fantasies had now happened in close proximity to her in real life. She felt somewhat surprised, astonished even.
男の人ってあんな風に触るのね。
Sexual intercourse. Even Mitsuki knew what sort of act that was. However, she was such a serious person that, aside from what was in her textbooks, she had never tried to seek out concrete information about it on her own. Mitsuki also knew that articles related to sex often showed up in certain female-focused magazines. And visited home, she was free to read and purchase such materials. She also knew that the bookstore had plenty lined up side by side in the magazine rack. However, to this day, she had never once tried to pick one up for herself. As a result, even though she had gotten herself a wonderful boyfriend and they had shared their first kiss, sex was still the first thing from her mind. But now...
私もマサヤさんと
Whoops, let's first finish this.
私もいつかはああいうことをマサヤさんと
Oh, is that? Okay.
マサヤさんは私のここをこんな風に触った
Oh no, is she gonna masturbate now? She gently pressed her finger against the spot between her legs. But he couldn't really feel much since she was doing this through her shorts. Feeling as though her hand was moving on its own, she took off her belt. She wiggled her hips, and now that her shorts were free of their restraint, they naturally fell down. She boldly stuck her hand in her panties. Save for when she was bathing, this was the first time she deliberately touched herself, so it was an oddly nerve-wracking experience for her.
この感じ似てるキスの時と
Oh boy, this isn't awkward at all.
抜けるような感じででもそれが妙に心地よくてマサヤさんはきっとこんな風に
That night, Mitsuki had attentively watched the sexual act between those two strangers. The strange man was touching his partner in a very obscene manner. After realizing how engrossed she was becoming in the act, Mitsuki had stopped herself.
ダメなんか怖いわ
She was falling into a trance-like state, her sense of reason being sheared away one layer at a time. That fact terrified her.
私が私ではなくなってしまうみたいで
Oh my god, all I can think about is it's like the fucking what's the word? Snickers? Like you're not you when you're hungry, but it's just like you're not you when you're horny. Ah! Her height and body temperature slowly dropped. It was then that her eyes suddenly spied the clock.
いけない
Is she here yet? Today was the summer festival, which marked the end of summer vacation. Mitsuki had promised to meet me here at 5 o'clock, but she was already 10 minutes late. This isn't like her. She was always so diligent, and she had never been late for anything before. Well, it wasn't like we were late to see a movie or anything, so it wasn't a big deal if she was a little late. After taking my time getting ready, there was a small knock on my bedroom door 10 minutes or so later.
ごめんなさい
Don't worry about it. No? Your face is kind of red.
そう
Do you have a fever or something? Maybe that was why she was late? I said excuse me and tried to put my forehead against hers.
ダメ
Huh?
今汗を
Now that you mentioned it, her forehead was quite sweaty. Are you sure you're alright? I was really worried about her now.
今ちょっと汗の匂いが
Whoops. What we were saying to each other didn't quite seem to match up. Maybe it's because of the fever?
ごめんなさいやっぱりちょっとシャワーを浴びてくるわ
But if you've got a fever...
すぐに済ませるからちょっとだけ待ってて
She left. Went back to the room and tilted my head in confusion. She was acting kind of funny. Though she was acting strangely, that didn't just go for today. Ever since she witnessed that couple doing all that dirty stuff in the park, she seemed to be a little off. Another 10 minutes had passed and we were about ready to leave.
本当にごめんなさい結局30分も遅刻してしまったわ
No, it's okay. It's not a big deal if we join in on the festival midway through. More importantly, are you really okay?
大丈夫。なんでもないわ。
Although she hadn't been her usual self these past few days, this was the first time she'd recently been that beat red. But if she said she was fine, there probably wasn't any reason to keep prying. Oh, you changed. She was wearing shorts when she arrived first.
汗をかいたから。ほら、今日は暑いじゃない。
Although she was actually on the it was actually on the cooler side, but I thought it was actually on the cooler side, but I didn't call her out on it.
出かける前からなんか疲れてしまったわ。
There was no need to rush.
だって悪いじゃない。遅刻は良くないわ、やっぱり。
You're such a serious person, Mitsuki. Oh, I didn't mean that in a bad way. She looked depressed, so I quickly followed up with that comment.
でも、私自分でもそう思うわ。この年になるまでろくに知らないで。
Without knowing about what exactly? She blushed to shut her mouth. Mitsuki really was acting kind of weird today.
私、夏祭りって初めてよ。だからちょっと楽しみ。
Also, by the way, I first beat the giant. Like I played Dead Cells today, and Dead Cells today, and I've actually beat the giant for the first time from the giant DLC. And first off, you find out that you're actually the king. Second off, as the giant dies, he just like slowly sinks into the lava. My king, you are. Zoni just flips you the bird, an incorrigible asshole! And then he dies. And then you probably get the most OP weapon in the entire fucking game. Namely, Giant Slayer. It's a sword that causes you to deal critical damage against elites and bosses. So yeah, you like the moment you find this, it's literally just, okay, build decided upon. I don't need anything else. Best stuff at this point would be as much disable as humanly fucking possible. Anyways, that's Mitsuki-san. Really? I don't do stuff like that over in Tokyo.
いえ、そういうわけではないんだけど、学校側から夏祭りにはあんまり行くなみたいな指示が出ていたから。
Huh? What's with that?
まさやさんは三剣神社であった事件は知ってる？
Oh. Yeah.
それ以来、万仙路では夏祭りがタブーのようになってしまっているの。というのは、三剣神社は近くにあるから。うちの生徒たちも毎年の夏祭りを楽しみにしていたそうだから。それで、ね。
I see.
実家のそばの神社でもお祭りはやっているみたいよ。でも一人で行ってもつまらないし。あるいは無意識のうちに学校の指示を守ろうとしたのかしらね。休みの間は関係ないのにね。
He flashed a refreshed smile and grabbed my hand.
さすがの私も今日はそんな指示は忘れることにするわ。だから目いっぱい楽しみましょうよ。
Yeah. That newfound enthusiasm, we headed towards the venue, the Tsukishi Shrine in the neighboring city. However... Huh? Oh, whoops.
何かしら今の声。
I think I recognized that voice from somewhere.
美月さんとマサヤじゃない。
Whoa! Chiho!
あら、
One ma too too little! I mean...
へえ、二人っていつの間にかそんな関係になっていたのね。
That's when we realized we were still holding hands.
何よ。もう、隠すなんて水臭いじゃない。
Before we knew it, the White Lily Society members had shown up in full force.
なんだ。あんた美月さんとデートがあるから忙しいって答えたんだ。
Yeah, I guess so. Now she mentioned it, she has sent me an email asking if I had plans later today. I answered that I was busy, and that was the end of it, but I never would have expected expected she was inviting me to the summer festival.
本当にそうなの？まあ、そうじゃないわけはないか。
She looked down at our joined hands and smirked.
いえ、まだわかりませんよ。まだ私は信じています。
By God, just no, don't become Miyako 2.0. If you keep going like that, I'm going to call the first part of your route Miyako 2.0. You know what? Actually, I will. I will do that.
何を？これは不幸な事故のようなもので、手のひらに接着剤がついてしまったとか。現実を直視しなさいな。
So does Miyako.
本当に水臭いんだから、なんとなく怪しいなとは思っていたけど。これには訳があるのよ、訳が。どんな訳よ。
Mitsuki talked to them about the problem of image and change of philosophy she had previously mentioned to me.
なんとなくわかるけど、気にしすぎじゃないかしら。そんなことないわよ。私、本当に気恥ずかしくて。
Oh, I just noticed that you can actually hear that. I don't know, but I'm just knocking against the back of my head. Like, I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. Like, I can't really say knocking since I'm literally just slightly slapping against it with not enough force for it to hurt.
今日はリツコはいないの？
She followed the rules.
あの子真面目だからね。お祭りは推奨されていませんので。なんて、部屋から出てこようともしなかったわよ。そっか。よかった。リツコはともかく、好みは口が軽いから。
Ah! Oh no, she's here as well. Essentially, if Ritsuko had been here, then Konami would have definitely tagged along too.
あら、なによ。この後に及んで隠そうっていうわけ？当然です。いいみんな。このことは学校のみんなにはこれよ。
Mitsuki held a finger in front of her lips.
まあ、そこまで言うならそうするけど。はい。まあいいですけれど。でも苦労すると思うけどね。苦労って？これまでは夏休みで時間も売るほどあったでしょ？要するにまさやさんと一緒にいられる時間もたっぷりとあった。でも授業が始まれば学校で過ごす時間も長くなるわ。なのに隠し通そうとするなら一緒の時間も取りにくくなってしまうんじゃないかしら。そうだね。あとさ、あくまで隠すならあまり人前で喋ったりしてもいけないってことになるわけか。なんで？だってそうじゃない。美月さんも言うようにイメージというものがあるし、それとあと美月さんは紅バラ会の役員だから白百合会のマサヤとはあんまり喋る必要もないと。
Like Mitsuki just, oh fuck, I didn't think of that. It looked like their onslaught of questions had left Mitsuki speechless.
そうですね。その点、私たちは不自然でも何でもありません。時に、くんずほぐれつ、じゃれあったりしたとしても。ダメよ、そんなの。冗談です。言われてみれば、確かにそうね。 ちょっと大変かもしれない気がする。
I have this strange desire to bite into this can, and I'm worried.
素直に公表しちゃえば。そうはいきません。私頑張ります。頑張る必要もないことだと思うんだけどね。とにかくお願いよ、みんな。
Nah, of course not. Everyone nodded.
じゃあとりあえず一緒に回りましょうよ。美月さんは不満かもしれないけれど、狭い会場だもの。どうしたって顔を合わせるわ。いえ、不満なことなんか。じゃあそうしましょう。
On that note, we ended up walking around with them. With everyone.
わかった。前に美月さんが元気がなかったの。きっとまさやさんのことで悩んでいたんでしょう。
That was Reese for you. She was sharp.
ええ、そうなの。やっぱりね。それでマリカ様は関係ないみたいに言っていたわけなのね。
Mitsuki nodded.
相手がマリカ様だとしたら、なんだか悔しく感じたところだけど、まっとうな恋愛なら祝福してあげなくちゃいけないわね。親友としておめでとう、美月さん。そしてまさやさん。
God, I kept spelling today. Thank you. For it's school day again. We're now 1 week into the new term. Fuck me, I guess. And Reese's concern immediately became our reality. It's like, I feel like there's pressure on my back.
まさやくん、なんか額に汗が浮かんでいるわよ。
Also, isn't her ribbon on the wrong side of the head? It's always on this side. Why is it all on that side all of a sudden? Maybe my curry is just too spicy.
女の子向けのすりおろしリンゴ入り甘口カレーで汗が出るほど辛いはずないでしょ。
Yeah, I guess so.
視線が熱いというか、あるいは冷たいような気も。しょうがないわね。でも睨むくらいなら自分から来ればいいのにね。それもまたイメージの問題？多分律子たちにも隠しているせいではないでしょうか。関係あるの？3人一緒に来るならお互いアソシアシオンということで、そう不自然なこともないと思うんです。でも隠しているから美月さんから提案もできないということではないかと。ああ、そういうこと。なんだか細かいような話ね。ええ。
When I gently turned to look behind me, Ritsuko and Konomi were sitting next to Mitsuki, seemingly confused.
美月様？何？テーブルにポタポタと食べ物が。あ、なんか一生懸命テーブルを拭き始めた。どうしたんでしょう。こっちばっかり見て手元を見ないからきっとこぼしたんでしょうね。じゃあこちらから移動してあげましょう。
Let's do it. Each of us grabbed our trays and moved to tables.
ごきげんよう。ごきげんよう。ここ空いているかしら。見ればわかるでしょ。
The childish puffed expression made us all crack a smile. Let's have the White Lily and Red Rose Societies eat together from now on. Just immediate happy. Wait, hold on. A happy expression crossed Mitsuki's face for an instant, but she quickly cleared her throat.
どうしてよ。文化祭も近いわ。紅バラ会と白百合会であまり慣れ合うのも良くないんじゃないかしらね。また無理しちゃって。 無理って何ですか？
Oblivious to the situation, Mitsuko and Konami stared blankly.
まあ、こうしてご飯を食べるだけのことで、そこまで構えることもないかと思いますが。そうね。それもそうね。
She was really happy I couldn't let it show. That was the stiff sort of smile Mitsuki had. Despite things settling down earlier that afternoon, things took a turn after school. If our proposals for the theme of the cultural festival continued to clash, then we couldn't collude with each other too much.
では、文化祭についてですが。
Well, Lily Society's theme would be openness. All that was left was to figure out how to get our suggestion accepted at the vote. After meeting ended, I pretended it was a just coincidence, and we walked back to the dorm together. Hello. Mitsuki had gotten a few meters ahead of me, turned around. Who had gotten a few meters ahead of me, turned around.
ごきげんよう。
Picked up the pace and stood beside her. Of course, we left a modest amount of space between the two of us. When I thought back to how we held hands on our date, the seemingly ordinary distance between us now felt really far away. Do you have club activities again today?
ええ。
Learned about this after we started dating, but she apparently belonged to the arts club. She mentioned that she sometimes walked around campus looking for motifs, and she liked painting still lives using watercolors. Maybe I should join the art lab too.
そうね。それだと自然だけど、まさやさん、絵は描けるの？
Not a lick. I can use Illustrashop. Don't you mean Photoshop?
何それ？
A PC software. It's basically a digital graphics program.
残念ね。美術部はアナログ専門よ。
But I guess I don't have much interest in drawing anyway.
残念ね。
The fact that she said it was too bad for the second time really was unfortunate. I wish we could be together more often. We were in different classes and our after-school activities were also different. The only real time we had spent together was during summer vacation. The distance between Maria Hall and the school building wasn't far either. Oh, I know.
何？
Want to try drawing a picture of me as a model or something?
私、人物画はやったことないのよ。
That's too bad.
じゃあ、私はここで。ごきげんよう。
Yeah, see ya. To be honest, I could have just gone straight from Maria Hall to the dorm, so there was no need for me to come this way. But it would have been too obvious if I went back immediately after separating from Mitsuki, so I pretended I had something to do and headed for the sports grounds. It's really lonely here. I sat on the ground and muttered to myself. Softball club started practicing on the field. I guess I'll have a little walk with her tomorrow. Yeah. Again, I think that's the only place that will work. With how things are going, we won't even be able to talk to each other. And that would be lonely.
そうね。それは私だって。
Why do I feel like she's been touching herself on the daily?
じゃあ、今夜にでも？
Yeah. I was sure she accepted it so easily because she was approaching the limits of her patience too.
見られないよう、よっぽど気をつけないといけないわね。
You can come in without knocking.
ええ、わかった。
We arranged a time and said goodbye. Good, good. I can finally spend some time together. Couldn't help spontaneously breaking out a smile. I see Matthew coming to watch softball practice almost every day lately. I didn't want to join the club. It couldn't be. He wants to see us in our bloomers or something? Ahem! I stood up and brushed off my butt and got out of there in a hurry. 5 minutes after our arranged meeting time, Mitsuki slipped in through the crack in the door.
遅くなってごめんなさい。廊下に人の姿があって。
It's okay. Rushed over, muffling my footsteps, and hugged her tightly. I've been wanting to do this for ages.
マサヤさん。
Thinking back, this was the first time I'd hugged her tightly like this. I partially pressed my lips against hers. She tensed up for a moment, but quickly wrapped her arms around my back and returned the kiss.
待って、先に鍵を。
That makes it sound highly lewd. Mitsuki softly turned the lock, then hugged me again. He moved from the entryway and practically danced across the room. Poof. We tripped onto the bed. I was lying on my back with her on top of me. She looked down, her face bright red. But, Mitsuki. I may have gotten a little overexcited from holding back for so long. And subconsciously reached for her round butt. Sorry. She quickly got up, then fixed her skirt, trying to get out the wrinkles. I stood up and could still feel the soft sensation of her body against my hands. I'm sorry I touched you all of a sudden. I apologized once more.
いえ、ちょっと驚いただけだから。
She smiled. I was relieved I hadn't just made things awkward. We sat down next to each other on the bed, and I put my arm around her waist. Sitting so close to one another like this made me feel really happy.
ねえ、マサヤさん。
Yeah?
あのね。
After blushing and fidgeting in place, she whispered quietly.
キスして。
This was the first time she'd requested it herself. I felt a sudden rush of excitement and leaned in to kiss her sweet lips. I can't hold back anymore! I inserted my tongue between the seams of her lips. Mitsuki opened her eyes wide, looking bothered. I hugged her hips, wanting more, but... She pushed on my chest and I reluctantly pulled away.
今のって。
I want to... Should I not?
いえ、そういうことじゃなくて。
Huh?
今のは、どういう行為なの？
What appears he didn't even know the first thing about it. Have you never heard of a French kiss?
ディープキス。初めて聞いたわ。
She touched her fingers to her moist lips and took a deep breath.
決して悪い気はしなかったけど。
Mitsuki, do you know anything about what couples do sexually?
知ってるわよ。失礼ね。
Then, for example?
精液に含まれる精子の数は2億から3億。弁毛の運動で膣内を泳いで卵子を目指す。
No, that's not what I was asking you about.
悪かったわね。そうや。私はほとんど知らないわよ。
No, it's not a bad thing.
そういうことが載ってテレビも
Whoops.
ほとんど見ないし、そういうことが載っている本とか読んだことないし、そういうこと
Whoops, fuck.
テレビもほとんど見ないし。
What about movies? I would think love scenes would come up once in a while.
映画は見ることがあるけど、私その手のシーンが出てくると目をつぶってしまうのよ。
That's kind of adorable. Oh, that's something.
何よ。
Oh, I just thought it was cute. I brought my face in close again and asked her, "You didn't hate it?" After making sure of that, I once again pressed my lips to hers. Doing that without warning was wrong with me. I arbitrarily came to that conclusion. I decided to start by carefully caressing her with the tip of my tongue. Perfect elasticity of her lips was conveyed to my tongue. Wow. Whoa. This feels pretty nice. Touching her well-formed lips felt great all on its own. In fact, she was soft, moist, and felt almost like it was sticking to me. Okay, come down there, buddy. Mitsuki closed her lips, and she stayed still, accepting my kiss. It wasn't that she didn't want to reciprocate, but this was all she could do, given her limited knowledge on the subject. Smack. I took her lips up and down, occasionally sweetly nibbling. This was my first time French kissing too, so what I wanted to do just seemed to pop into my mind. But what I wanted to do, I mean...
少し苦しい。
If it's hard to breathe, you can open your lips.
けど
I stimulated her lips as if knocking. She still looked uncomfortable, but before long she opened her lips a little. My white tongue entered through the narrow crack. As I tickled the inside of her mouth, her tongue retreated to the back, making no signs of reciprocating. However, her body was definitely reacting. Her body temperature rose, and tiny tremors seemed to be running through her whole body. Her breathing grew ragged all at once, and I could tell her chest was arching and retracting. She gently pushed on my chest again, and I pulled away. We stayed silent for a little while, breathing heavily. Oh crap, my penis is totally... I was pitching a pathetically huge tent, but Mitsuki didn't seem to have noticed.
ちょっと怖いわ。
Scared? Oh, was I being too forceful?
いえ、マサヤさんじゃなくて、私自身が。
But you see what I mean. You see the ribbon on the right side. Huh?
気持ちよくて、普通のキスよりずっと。
You're afraid of it? She nodded.
何なのかしら。あんまり良くなると、なんだか怖くなってしまって。自分で触ってみても、そうなの。
But when you say touch yourself...
マサヤさんも私のことをこんな風に触ったりするのかしらとか思って。
how so? I gulped without meaning to.
嫌よ。
She blushed bright red and hung her head. For some reason, for someone with so little knowledge on the subject, do something like that. I get it. Like what those couples were doing in the park, right? It looked like I nailed it, and she got even redder. I shot an eye-watering glance down her slender thighs. Mitsuki's fingers had literally touched between these legs, huh?
触れているうち、気持ちよくなってくるの。それはあなたとキスをしている時の感覚と似ていて。
The sexy confession captivated me and sent my heart racing. However, it was possible Mitsuki wasn't conscious of the fact that what she had done was masturbation. So it felt like she was shedding light on it herself.
どんどん良くなってしまって。それから。
And then?
怖くなってしまうの。
Why did you get scared?
自分が自分で亡くなるような気がするからかしら。
I see. I was good at studying, but she was good at studying, but she was a pure innocent girl who knew nothing about sexuality. And that girl who didn't even know what masturbating was struck by an unfamiliar pleasure. It was no wonder that she would feel anxious about it. You got used to it in no time.
そうかしら。
If we do this every day, Mitsuki. We stopped at a moderate point. If we didn't do that, there would be no end to it. After checking outside, I waved her over. Now.
じゃあ、ごきげんよう。
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Whew. I looked down at my pants inside. Everything I've done might be pretty harsh on me. Well, time to check off! For a while after that, our erotic days continued. Whoops, sorry about that. It became clear just how unexpectedly sensitive Mitsuki was when I caressed her, but we always ended up backtracking midway through. Seemed she couldn't quite overcome that disheveling uneasy feeling. Well, it's the same when we kissed too. She seems to be mostly used to it, but she never tried to engage in tongue play. It did feel more nice, even when I just did it myself, but to be honest, it was a little unsatisfying. Hot sighs. Reactions had certainly gotten exceptionally better compared to when we first started. Are you still scared?
ごめんなさい。
No, you have nothing to apologize for. It was true that I felt disappointed, but I didn't think there was any need to rush. We just had to take our time, get her acclimated to it.
ただ、私にもじくじたる気持ちがあるの。
Realizing she was worried about it for the first time, I was kind of taken aback. That's true. There may be differences in how strongly men and women feel desire. I'm sure it's not as though she hates the idea of us showing affection for each other. Mitsuki spoke and supported those internal thoughts I just had.
マサヤさんに求められて、私も嬉しいの。
Is this gonna boil down to her is this seriously gonna boil down to her asking him to just do it again? Because that's what it looks like. That's what it fucking looks like it's boiling down to.
以前はよくわからない感情だったのだけど、こんな話前に出たわよね。
Oh, yeah. In fact, the boy wants me. Still hasn't quite hit home. Does it feel real to you now?
だからなおさら悔しいのよね。
She retracted her smile and bit her lip.
どうしたら応じられるのかしらって。私の中にもマサヤさんに答えたいって気持ちはあるのよ。すごく。
What should we do? I racked my brain, but as expected. But as expected, nothing came to mind other than us having sex.
実は私一つ考えていることがあって。
What sort of idea? She was awfully hesitant to say, considering she was the one who brought it up. Based on her behavior, it must have been something very difficult to say.
笑わないで聞いてよ。
Of course. There was nobody else around to hear it, but she leaned in close to my ear.
もう一度公園に行ってみたいの。
Huh?
やっぱり呆れるわよね。
No,
わかるわよ。だって私が言われたらきっと呆れて怒るもの。
that isn't it. I don't really understand. We go to that park and then what?
あの時は私ただただ純粋に驚いてしまったんだけど、外でああいうことをする人がいるということ、ちょっと信じられなかったから。
What about it?
でもマサヤさんとディープキスとかするようになって改めて思い返すと、一種の羨望を覚えるようになってしまったのよ。
Envy? Why were you jealous?
だって、あの公園のカップルは、何の憂いもないみたいに、快楽を協力していたじゃない。
Yeah. Is that how it is? I finally understood the connection. True, the couples in the park were most definitely enjoying one another's company, and widely so at that. So how did we compare, basically? Truth, we wanted to show that sort of affection and desire for each other. But those oddly anxious feelings were getting in our way. When we were put into that situation, it was true that I did feel kind of envious.
それでね、思うのだけど。
Mitsuki was normally so sure of herself, but she sounded unusually hesitant as she continued talking.
もう一度あそこに行けば、周りのカップルから勇気がもらえるような、そんな気がするような気がして。
It's their first time gonna be outside. Oh, dude. The way she ended her sentence made me suspicious, but I got what she was trying to say.
赤の他人に対して何を言っているのよというところではあるのだけど。
Let's hope it's just the idea of doing it outside instead of voyeurism that got her excited there.
マサヤさんはどう思う?
I don't really mind. Shall we then? She nodded firmly.
だって私だって本当はあなたに捧げたいの。
Mitsuki. My heart jumped into my throat. The way she phrased it, dedicated herself, made me so strangely happy that I wanted to roll around on the floor. You really are adorable, Mitsuki.
私も教科書的な意味ならセックスを知っている。ここに
She held her abdomen as she spoke.
あなたのそれが入るということ。
I was pitching a tent between my legs as usual, and even Mitsuki seemed to understand what that meant.
私お腹の奥がなんだか妙な感じがして。
Strange. She continued without answering.
きっとマサヤさんを受け入れたがっている。それが分かって。
I know why I'm doing this.
なのにためらってしまうだなんて。そんなのはもう本当に嫌だから。
Yeah.
じゃあ約束よ。今度の土曜日いいわね。
Got it? I gulped loudly, and thought about the moment we would finally become one. Saturday! It's time to fuck. The day of our outing to the park had finally arrived. The night before, Mitsuki had said,
結局リセさんに校門を開けてもらうことにしたわ。
Ah, Risa has the headmistress's password, right? That was how she could open and close the gates at will.
らしいわね。私もこの前初めて知ったの。彼女の方から言ってくれて。もしマサヤさんとデートでもしたくなったら言いなさいなって。
Risa's so kind.
ええ、本当に。だから学園の太陽なんだわ、きっと。そんなリセさんと親友であることを私は誇りに思うわね。
Yeah. I was glad to see Mitsuki wasn't very like she had been previously. Well, she got the man, so... The time came and I left my room. We wouldn't meet up again until we were outside the school gates and made it to the bus stop. At Shimin, the path that led to the gates. The end of this road shouldn't be captured on the monitors. The gate was already open, so I ran out without stopping, concealing the sound of my footsteps as best as I could. Mitsuki was standing at the bus stop and gave me a quick wave. The bus came just on time, and we boarded with innocent looks on our faces.
すごい緊張してしまったわ。
The way he specifically mentioned this not being caught on camera makes it sound like it was caught on camera. When we took our seat, Mitsuki heaved a huge sigh of relief.
抜け出すのなんて初めてだから。
She lowered her voice, likely wary of the driver. I'm sure. She held a handkerchief to her forehead.
まだドキドキしてる。
Her ample breasts bobbed in tune with her breathing.
このドキドキはきっと違反をしたせいだけではないでしょうね。
Yeah, it's the same for me.
それにしてもなんだか不思議。私がこんなことをするなんて思ったこともなかった。まあそれはある種のこともそうなんだけど、人間変われば変わるということなんでしょうね。
When I came to the academy, Mitsuki was so conservative. Was as conservative as when I came to the academy, Mitsuki was as conservative as ever, but she didn't look as unhappy about the fact she had changed as you might expect. I forgot the expect.
そういえば白百合会は残念ね。提案が却下されてしまって。
Yeah. She was referring to the cultural festival that would occur on the following day. White Lily and Red Rose Societies each proposed a theme and took it to a vote. That was the plan, but the Red Rose Society stood victorious.
まあ難しいだろうとは思ったけどね。外のお客さんを招くだなんて。
I guess it's going to be rough, being successful at the grand vote. Tommy had been keeping tabs on my approval rating since the start of the second term, but the White Lily Society seemed to have very little support.
まあ元気出しなさいな。グランデボートはまだずっと先なんだから。
Yeah.
もし女子校の維持ということに決まったとしたら、私ちょくちょく会いに行ってあげるわよ。
は？
意外って顔ね。
More or less.
私だって物事の優先順位はわきまえているつもりです。マサヤさんより校則が大事とか、そんなこと言うつもりはないわよ。
Thank you.
ま、手は抜かないってことよ。もしあちらがそれを期待しているなら、そうは問屋が下ろさないって言っておいてちょうだいな。
Yeah. The sun had already completely set by the time we got off the bus. The moment we disembarked, a heavy silence fell between us. Our joined hands were both sweaty. Still silent, we arrived at the park. I could faintly hear a woman's erotic cries. That sounded like an okama more than a woman, but okay. Mitsuki seemed to hear it too and squeezed my hand tightly. Luckily, there was an open bench, and he's immediately going for it. You can actually see his face. Wow. What a surprise. Just like last time, the couple on the bench diagonally across from us was passionately going at it.
ほんと、すごいわね。
I could tell this was making her gulp ever so slightly. Yeah, I must be really fired up to do this sort of thing outside.
外でということもそうなんだけど。
は？
あんな風に夢中になれるのがすごいと思って。
She stared at them intently, her face bright red. I believed under normal circumstances, even if you were totally entranced by it, you would be extremely bothered by someone watching you have sex. It seemed the reason they weren't bothered by us at all was due to what sort of place this actually was. Is seeing this help at all? Her reaction said to me, I'm not sure. You're not afraid of being yourself anymore, right?
ええ、なんていうのかしら。ボーガの境地？それが近づいてくると、なんだか深いところに飲み込まれていくような不安があって。
You mean orgasm?
わからないけど。
Mitsuki was pretty sensitive in some places, so that could have made her uneasy. Maybe it would have been better if I were a little pushy about it. Like if I gave you a push on the back, so that you'd fall into that deep place you mentioned. I tried to move forward with her as gently as possible, but that may have actually been what caused her hesitation. Alright. Mitsuki?
待って、こんなところで。
She pushed onto my chest. If I were the same as before, I would have obediently pulled back. But this time I hugged her close to me instead. It's okay. Don't feel anything else but me. It was an embarrassing line, but I was able to say it smoothly.
でも、人に見られて。
It's alright, they won't see. I was practically on top of her, so my body should have been covering a vast majority of hers. I kissed her once more. They're literally gonna do it outside for the first time. At first, her body was stiff, but before long, she squeezed the chest of my shirt and accepted me. Now that I think about it, Mitsuki's always like this. At the start, she would stiffen up, as if rejecting me. But then, soon enough, she would accept me. Based on that, Mitsuki might actually prefer it if I were a little forceful with her. Regardless of this, she was shooting glances. What about everyone around us? It's alright, don't pay attention to anything around us, okay? I gently reached for her thigh as we continued kissing. Slowly and surely, I ran my hand along her thigh as we continued kissing. She reacted with shyness, but I made sure to proceed slowly to reassure her. A shiver ran through her as I finally touched between her legs, but she soon relaxed. We had made it as far as second base so far, but only to the point of touching her breasts through her clothes. We'd never gone this far before. Without relenting, I once again locked lips with her. For the first time, she pursued my tongue on her own, and we shared a French kiss. Once we made it over that hurdle, Mitsuki became much more proactive. After giving Mitsuki some continued attention, she let out a loud yelp, then pulled her face away. We looked at each other and chuckled at the same time.
すごいのね。
Yeah.
なんだか勇気が出てきたかも。
Looks like we achieved our goal in coming here. Did you feel like you were going to climax just now?
わからないわよ、そんなの。
Don't be afraid. Even if you're different from your usual self, it won't change the fact that you're my adorable girlfriend.
さっきから臭いわよ、マサヤさん。
Once in a while, yeah.
けど、勇気が出たわ。マサヤさん。
Kissing led back to touching, and despite some nervousness, Mitsuki became more turned on by the second. Go and relax, it'll be okay. I love you, Mitsuki. With that last bit of reassurance, she seemed to finally be comfortable. With the shackles of her heart released, her body relaxed. Then finally, she reached the climax. After giving her a moment to breathe, the tinge of her flushed pink skin gradually receded, turning to its usual fair-looking color. Yep. Pull that tongue back and stop licking her hair. This really just looks like he's licking her hair. Hair licker. Fuck off. She opened her eyes slightly. By the way, this tip part will go on until I've finished this fucking route. There was an oddly erotic vibe to her vacant, powerless gaze. Hold on. She opened her eyes slightly. There was an oddly erotic vibe to her vacant, powerless gaze, which made my heart flutter. You were so cute.
やだ。
Although her eyes were downcast, she looked a bit happy.
なんだか信じられない。私本当に達してしまったわ。
I gently wiped away the sweat that had accumulated on her collar. How was it?
どうと言われても困ってしまうけど。
Well, did your anxiety go away?
あ、ええ、それは鉄棒の逆上がりみたいなものかしら。一度乗り越えてしまえばどうしてそんなに怖がったのかわからない。そんな感じだわ。
I think we did that in PE at one point. I think I got it. I think I did actually manage to do it, but I doubt I would be able to do it again because, by God, I forgot how it works. I'm glad.
これからどうするの？
Naturally, I want to become one with her right away. However, doing it right here and now would be completely unthinkable.
マサヤさんが決めてよ。
Yeah. We were able to book a room at a stationary hotel with a day pass planned until 9 o'clock that night. We went into it thinking it might be better than a love hotel. Silently, we sat on the bed. We hadn't said a word to one another on the way here, but it wasn't because we felt awkward about it at all. We held hands with our fingers interlocked, and that was enough to fill our hearts.
フロントの人変に思ったかしら。
Huh? Weird?
なんだ学生のくせにって。
Ah, I wonder. Oh well, they were professional about it. That both did and didn't feel like an answer. We fell silent once more. Nothing more would happen no matter how long we stayed silent. I knew I had to make the first move here. When I turned to face her,
私シャワーを。
when she tried to stand up, I grabbed her hand. It's okay, you don't need to take a shower.
でも
You can't lounge around here for too long. I pulled her on her hand to sit her down. She immediately complied. Mitsuki was normally so headstrong, but the moment she sat on the bed, her modesty came out in full force. The gap in her personalities made me strangely excited. The way I pushed things along earlier may have made me somewhat different from usual, too. He's gotta turn slightly Yamato. Only slightly. No one can be as good as Yamato. We exchanged another kiss, as I softly laid her down on the bed. I'll be honest, if I had to choose to be, if I had to choose one of the VNs I've played, and I would turn into one of the heroines in said VN, I would choose Majikoi. Either Majikoi or... Actually, no, not the two demons. Either Majikoi or Hoshiori Yumemirai. I would either become a heroine in Hoshiori Yumemirai or Majikoi. Or Aokana, just so I can try out the fucking, you know, I forgot the name. The fucking boots. I forgot what they were called, but god dang it. What were they called? There we go. It's the name of the damn things on the shop page for Steam. You know, the opening is really nice, but I don't need it right now. Anyways. Anti-graviton shoes. graph shoes, yeah, like they would call graph shoes. Like, if I had to choose to be a heroine in one of the CGs in one of the VNs I've played, I would either choose Hoshiori Mirai, Majikoi, or Aokana just for the graph shoes. Because I would want to try out the fucking graph shoes. But yeah, anyways. We exchanged another kiss as I softly laid her down on the bed. Actually, if you had to choose to become a heroine and one of the VNs you've played, who would you choose? Put it down in the comments below. I'm actually kind of curious about that. You know what? I'm gonna confuse the entire Discord server by asking that now. What the fuck happened here? Ah. Okay. That's why I was tagged. It was not just me, it was everyone. Anyways, General! Actually, now let's do it in visual novel. If you had to decide on one of the visual novels you've played, in which one would you be a heroine if you had to choose? Don't fucking question why I came up with this question. It just randomly happened mid-recording. There we go. Anyways, so yeah, that's that done. We continued where we left off in the park and began our intimate night together. I love you too, Mitsuki. After our lovely evening together, we left the hotel. The hotel for a nice nap! Yes, I've been watching JonTron again as of late. We somehow managed to make it to our scheduled bus on time. Me too. Although we ran all the way to the bus stop, I felt unbelievably tired considering the short distance. That exhaustion was probably due to how intense our lovemaking was. Yeah.
それにしても、マサヤさんって意外と激しい人だったのね。まあ、ある意味では予想通りでもあるのかしら。体つきがたくましいし、写真で見ていた通りだったわね。
That's the photo she had as a background? Just him half naked? Photo?
あ、ほら、前に裸の写真を撮ったじゃない？タミエさんを呼んで。
Oh, yeah. Tamia published a photo on the White Lily Society's homepage, but she, myself, and the entire White Lily Society were serially reprimanded by the headmistress. You saw that too? It was deleted so quickly.
実を言うと、前に私が携帯に入れていた写真、あの時のなのよ。
Yo. Like there should have been different pictures. Like there should have been different pictures. But she just had a moment of real horny hours. Huh? It was... She nodded, blushing.
だってしょうがないじゃない。他にはないし、撮らせてなんて頼むこともできないし。
I'm surprised you got your hands on it. You must have asked Tamiya, right? She seems really loose-lipped.
いえ、そうではないの。私もそのことを心配したから。マサヤさん、パソコンのキャッシュって知ってる？
Ah, I nodded. So she put the image left behind on the hard drive. Do you know all about computers, Mitsuki?
いえ、全然よ。だから、壁紙にするまでに結構努力してしまったわ。
That just showed how badly she wanted my photo. Knowing that she cared for me back then warmed my heart all over again.
ただ、もう削除してしまったけどね。あの時校長先生に見つかって。
Want to take another?
いいわよ。だって、今は実物が手に届くところにある。でしょ？
She affectionately stroked my chest. Yeah, you're right.
それにしても、さっきは本当に恥ずかしかったわよ。いきなり妙な行為は始めるし、動物みたいなポーズは取らせるし。
Sorry.
私のあんな恥ずかしい姿を知っている人間がこの世にいる。それを思うと、なんだかムカムカ来てしまうわね。
Sorry. Hello, I clicked. I glanced downward. I guess I had gone overboard.
でもね、この世にたった一人くらいなら、私が私ではなくなるところ、知ってもらってもいいと思うの。
I got it this time. The goddamn chair got, just snapped loose again for a second, so I almost fell forward again, but I caught it this time. Anyways,
その一人というのは、この先もずっとあなたなんだからね、マサヤさん。
yeah?
私の恥ずかしい記憶を持ったまま別れるようなことがあったら、許さないわよ。
Oh, you's gonna get stabbed if that ever happens. This time she took her hand that was brushing my chest and tapped right over my heart. She could be a little scary once she was out of the bedroom. Final chapter. The effect of love. Screw you, Mitsuki. I'm the one reading these. I say it, but I never fucking read them. Academy Bell Festival. The 97th even. The next day. That morning a voice called out to me from behind as I made my way towards the school building.
Masaya-san!
Oh, that's unusual. When we were out in public, we had been acting like mere friends. The students around us were also puzzled by her approaching me. However, she walked up and stood beside me, unaware of their stares. Then she held my hand.
ごきげんよう。いい天気になってよかったわよね。
Question!
どうかした？変な顔して。
Using just my eyes, I pointed at the presence of the surrounding spectators. Her speaking to me so casually was surprising in itself, but now that she's also grabbed and was holding my hand, they looked utterly bewildered. You fucked up! You fucked up big time! Yeah, that's not working! The palm reading?
生命線がとっても短いわ。あなた、明日にでも死ぬわね。
Huh?
ごきげんよう。
Fled off like the wind. She left me and several other dumbfounded students in the dust. What, for Mitsuki into palm reading? No idea. I've never heard of anything about it. Besides, it clearly didn't seem like he was looking at his palm at first.
どうしたの？道の真ん中で突っ立っちゃって。
Gio, my lifeline apparently cuts off right in the middle.
はあ？
Oh, I mean my palm reading.
はあ。
He's just confused.
で、そうですか？まさやさん、ちょっと見せてください。
Okay.
あらまあ、どの線もみんな長くつながっています。あ、ほんとだ。手相のことなんか全然知らないけど、すべてにおいて運が良さそうなやつね、あんたって。
What was Uruz again? In fact, I thought about what happened earlier as I waited for the cultural festival to commence. That's because we crossed the line. We had grown so close that she treated me affectionately without paying attention to anyone around us. Oh well, if you don't have to hide it, then how we act in public would seem much more natural than it does now. Us holding hands, I meant.
ごきげんよう。
The sister came in and switched focus. During my break, Tamiya emailed and asked me to come to Maria Hall courtyard, so I quickly headed over.
Ah, 来た来た。ごきげんよう。
We fucked up, didn't we? Like, he just sees Tamiya. He sees only Mitsuki with her. We fucked up big time, didn't we? And by we, I mean you. Mitsuki.
ちょっと、人が挨拶しているのに無視することはないでしょうが。
Sorry. Hello, best girl. Tamiya suddenly smiled audaciously.
今の反応で分かったわね。
But what?
目は口よりも雄弁に物を言うってね。私が先に挨拶したのに、君の目はじっと美月さんに注がれているんだもの。
That's because, you know, what you told me earlier has been on my mind.
さっきって？
I'm apparently going to die tomorrow. I said, acting as grave as possible. She laughed at me again.
まさやさんね。中期から入った私だって、美月さんとはかれこれ4年以上の付き合いがあるわけよ。前期からの人なら何年よ。手相がなんて飲み屋街のおっちゃんみたいな言い訳通じるわけないでしょうが。
Hold on for a second. I'm doing something real quick. My nose has been really annoying me the past few days. It's been feeling strangely dry. Like, drier than it should be, and it's just fucking annoying. Anyways, there we go. It's back on mouth height now, my microphone. You know a lot about this stuff.
Morning. あ、来た来た。
When I turned around, our usual group of friends appeared and made their way down the courtyard to the courtyard. Oh, are you on break right now too, Rise?
まあ、お客さんといっても、うちだけだから。
Which meant there was no need to be strict about it.
これから大事な話をするわけだから、仲良しメンバーも同席した方がいいでしょ？
An important conversation.
ほら、座った座った。
Come, everyone, and sit, or we will laugh. Everyone sat on the lawn at Tamiya's suggestion.
それで、美月さん、今朝のことだけど、私が聞いて回った限りじゃ、みんなにはだいぶ妙に思われてるわよ。
Everyone knows about it already?
もちろん。 万千ので一度噂になったら、あとはもう両言の火ってやつよ。
Oh hey, the CG on the right changed to a smile that could end when world wars, which would actually be very useful to the German army. Because by god, that way they'll actually fucking win one for once. Anyways, I guess you're right.
私も聞きました。何でも美月様がマサヤ様の手相を見たとか。美月様、手相に凝っていたのですか？まあそんなはずないわよね。
Lisa answered in her place and Ritsuko nodded.
それは私もそう思いました。すると一体
Mitsuki and I had only revealed we were dating to the White Lily Society members. Ritsuko, who saw her practically every day at the Red Rose Society, didn't seem to know, and tilted her head in confusion.
もう言ってしまいなさいな、美月さん。とても手相には見えなかったどころではないのよ、噂は。親しげに手をつないで、親しげに話しかけたということなのよね。
Confused pair of Red Rose Society members stared hard at her.
そうね。
She huffed, taking a breath.
あの後私もずっと考えていたの。文化祭の仕事をしながら。それで思ったんだけど、むしろ私も嫌だなと思ってしまって。
You hate it?
あなたと単なる友達みたいに振る舞うことよ。そんなのはもう耐えられないわね。ということはつまりええ隠していてごめんなさい。私とマサヤさん付き合っているのよ。そんなに驚くようなことかしら。なんと言いますか、ちょっとイメージに合わない感じがしたので。まあそうでしょうね。私もそれを気にしてみんなには明かさないでいたんだもの。何を気にされていたんですか？イメージよ。私が男子となんか付き合うはずがない、そんなイメージが確かにあったと思うの。私はそのイメージを崩してしまうのが嫌で。そうなのですか？確かに美月様には今言ったようなイメージがありました。ですが、どうしてそのイメージを崩したくなかったのかなと思いまして。それはなんでかしらね。
Mitsuki tilted her head.
なんとなく嫌だったとしか言いようがないけれど。まああれだけマサヤ君にというか男子に対して反発していた美月だものね。それが彼の魅力にコロッとやられてしまったなんて、それは本人からしたら気恥ずかしいでしょうよ。そうですね。じゃあ美月さん、二人のこと公表するのね。そうする。ならよかった。いや、私もそうした方がいいと思ったのよ。だってさっきリセさんも言ったことだけど、二人はもう明らかに怪しいと思われているんだから、隠し通すことなんてどのみちできないわよ。わかった。
Tommy, thank you.
何が？
Well, for giving Mitsuki the push she needed. Isn't that why you brought us all together?
私の目的がそれだけだと思う。
Fucking course not. She wants a juicy fucking article out of this. Huh?
で、今の心境はどう？マサヤさんが来る前は在学中に彼氏ができるなんて思いもよらなかったんでしょ？これインタビューなの？もちろん。 だって新聞にだって書いていいのよね。公表する以上は。まあ私は
I don't mind either.
そう来なくっちゃね。で、どんな感じ？それは悪い気持ちではないわよ。はっきり言ってこれが幸せというものなんだという心境ね。かなー、のろけてるわね。
That fucking expression! Oh my god, why is Tommy so good?
インタビューしたのはあなたでしょ。
When the interview was over, Risa said,
それでいつ公表するの？そうね。新聞は明日には発行するんでしょ？むしろ号外を出す勢いよ。なるほどね。まあどっちにしろ新聞で先に公開されてしまうというのでは締まらないわ。大事なことだもの。自分の口で言わないとね。つまりこの後すぐに？いい。今日はちょうど文化祭ですし、特設のステージを用意して。ちょっと大げさすぎよ。でもそのくらいやった方がいいと思うけどね。なんならこのマイク貸してあげるけど。
hijack the fucking school announcement system.
大げさなくらいでちょうどいいのよ。さ、そうと決まったら実行委員会で会議と行きましょう。実行委員会？私たちのことよ。二人は席を外していいわよ。みこしはどーんと構えてくれていればいいんだから。
Like so, we left the courtyard, nearly driven away.
まさやさん、今休憩時間なの？
Yeah, I actually just finished all the work I was supposed to do.
そう、私もだわ。じゃあ
What a coincidence! She gently grabbed my hand.
一緒に回りましょうよ。せっかくの文化祭だもの。
Let's do it. As expected, we ended up becoming the center of attention when everyone saw us holding hands. We sat on a bench and enjoyed some of the student homemade ice cream.
さっきリツコに言われたことだけど、私少しハッとしてしまったのよね。
Yeah?
イメージのことよ。考えてみれば、私はどうしてイメージが変わることを厭ったのかしら。気恥ずかしかったのは確かだけど、でもそれだけではないような気もするのよね。
Mitsuki looked off in the distance as she took a bite of ice cream.
もういいのだけどね。
When she looked back, there was a sweet smile on her face.
すぐこの後公表することが決まったのだし。
Yeah.
メールだわ。リセさんから。話がまとまったからマリア館に戻るようにですって。ごきげんよう。実行委員会としてプランがまとまったわよ。あんまり変なことさせないでよ。もちろんグラウンドに体育祭で使う表彰台を持ち出して事実を公表してもらうだけだわ。表彰台なんか何に使うのよ。立つに決まってるじゃない。まあいいか。私とリツコとで校長先生にはきちんと話を通しておいたわ。
How did this work out?
だから思う存分思いの丈を吐き出してくださいな。ええ、ありがとう。
Per Tamiya's announcement, the students gathered together on the sporting grounds to hear Mitsuki out. We were waiting on the grounds first, but the students just kept on coming.
ずいぶん来るのね。それはそうですよ。
Well, hello there, Marika. It's been a long time. We actually barely fucking see you outside. We've actually barely fucking seen you in any of the routes outside of your own.
マリカ様。美月はもともと人気者なのですから。 ラルムドルヌの一面、素敵ですものね。口さがない雑音は私も耳にしたことがあります。ただそれは多分にやっかみもあったのでしょう。
Like, he just looks over at Monica. I'm not gonna be stabbed, am I? Monica was likely referring to her concerns of being compared to Risa.
いずれにしろ、親衛隊長よりはよほどあなたに似合っていると私はそう思うわ。ありがとうございます。ところで私も噂を耳にしました。なんでもマサヤくんとの距離がぐっと縮まっているとか。はい、この後公表するのですが、私たち恋人になったんです。そうなの？それはおめでとう。
Would have been actually hilarious if she actually got like uncharacteristically surprised, or like after saying like, "I see, congratulations." Wait, what? With Monica's blessing, we both bowed our heads.
そう。ではそのせいでしょうか。生徒会で顔を合わせた折など、私思ったのですが、以前よりももっと人間的な魅力が増しているように感じられたから。そうでしょうか。
Mitsuki asked with a blank face, looking like she hadn't expected that.
今思えばそれは内面からにじみ出る充足感とか幸せといったものだったのでしょうね。
Wait, what did you say? Okay.
でもどうして伏せていたの？素敵なことだもの、明かしてしまっていいと思ったのだけど。ええ、一つにはやっぱり気恥ずかしかったんです。それとあと、なんだか以前と違ったイメージで見られるのが嫌だったみたいで。イメージ？ちょっともうだいぶ集まったからそろそろ台に立ってちょうだい。了解。
Mitsuki took the mic in hand and hastily turned around.
でも私はむしろ変化の見られた美月の方が素敵に思いましたが。
Monica whispered as she gazed at her back. The old Mitsuki didn't seem to have any confidence in herself.
自信？
I just mean, I think she was afraid to take a step forward in all sorts of ways.
それはきっとリセも関わることなのでしょうね。あの二人は本当に小さな頃からいいコンビでしたから。
Speaking of Risa, she was looking up at Mitsuki on the winner's podium, her eyes shimmering. There's an extreme...
私事なことではありますが、皆さんに一つご報告があります。私とおこのぎまさやさんですが。
Since she didn't conclude her statement, the sports crowds got so riled up that it was difficult to even make out the signs of the microphone.
恋人同士になりました。
Crowd burst out cheering. Past that point, the mic became useless. But then the headmistress became a bitch again. Huh. I'm actually surprised that headmistress didn't fucking bitch about this. Like, I was expecting she didn't know this was them announcing that they're lovers, and instead some actual serious stuff. So when this came out to be the true fucking announcement, she's just gonna fucking go on stage like, I will throw him out because he changed something about the school! Is it obvious that I really don't like her? Like, the thing is, she's a legitimately good character because she's doing what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to be the antagonist. She's supposed to make you hate her. And hate her I do! So, she's doing the thing she's supposed to do, so I can't really fucking blame her for that. Anyways, once the cultural festival ended, Monica asked to speak with us. Mitsuki and I made our way to the student council room. I had never been in this particular room in Murray Hall before. Strictly speaking, it didn't seem to be much different from the others. We took a seat and Mitsuki said,
マリカ様、話というのは？一つ、あなたに伝えておきたいことがあって。
You got to him first, bitch. Like he just looks her in the eye. God damn, you got to him first, bitch.
さっきマサヤくんからちらりと話を聞きました。なんでも美月は自分に自信がなかったとか。
Mitsuki nodded slightly.
これは想像だけど、それはリセが関わっているのではないかしら？はい。やはりね。ねえ美月、覚えているかしら？私が以前言ったことですが、あなたが紅バラ会の怪盗から降りると言ったとき、私は確かこんな風に言ったはずです。あなただって魅力的なのにと。美月は単なるお世辞と受け取ったようでしたが、私は本気でした。それでも私は強いて反対はしなかった。それはもうそうしたやり方が美月の強みでもあるからと思ったからです。強み？
Monica nodded.
リセとの対比で言えば、美月の持つそうしたしなやかさは強みに違いない。私はそう思っていましたから。しなやか？私が？
She looked up at me, seeking my opinion. Flexible, meaning that she is adaptable?
そうです。
In that case, you could be right. I said, turning to face her.
どうして？私にはわからないわ。まるで実感がないけど。
I hope he does anything that didn't feel real to you. Did you make up your mind to buy a skirt for me?
そんな、でも、そんなことくらいで。
But your feelings made me happy.
スカート。そういえばこの間から、美月はスカートも履くようになったのよね。それも、マサヤくんの影響で？まあ。
By the way, question, Monica, how the fuck do you make your scare flare like that? Same to you, Mitsuki. Like, you always seem to be standing in front of a fan. Like a very powerful one, too. Where'd you get them?
そう。美月はさっき、今とても幸せであるとみんなに対して言っていたわね。幸せを得るために努力する。小さなことから大きなことまで。それは当然正しいことであると私は思います。お姉様。さっきリセとの対比でと言いましたが、それはつまりこういうことです。
Monica let out a giggle.
彼女は良くも悪くも頑固だから。
I don't know. That's why that makes such a great pair, right?
そういうことです。
Rise, who wished for reformation, had a very stubborn side to her. And on the other hand, Mitsuki, who didn't wish for reformation, had a flexible side. This uneven aspect must have been why they complemented each other so well. So basically, the one who wants the school to be more flexible is stubborn, and the one who wants wants the school to be more stubborn is flexible.
美月の持つしなやかさはきっとあなた自身のためになると思います。だから自信を持っていいと思いますよ、美月。はい、ありがとうございます、お姉様。
Monica was considerate and left the room first. After a while, we headed back to the dorms together.
なんだかいろいろなことが一気に解決してとてもすっきりした気分だわ。
Thanks to everyone around us.
本当に。
Thinking about it, we were surrounded by wonderful friends. Personally, even Sen itself felt like a blessing on a material level too. But the connections I had with others really were the most precious of all.
じゃあ、まさやさん、明日から大っぴらにイチャイチャしたりするわよ。
Are you always the type to say something like that?
しなやかに。私は変わるのよ。
You said before grabbing my arm. And then the headmistress started bitching. Mitsuki Mekata. Even though Mitsuki's problems were all wrapped up, mine just seemed to be piling up even more and more.
なかなか支持率が上向かないわね。
It was already December. Following the event of the Cultural Festival, the White Lady Society's theme proposal for the sports festival had been accepted, but my approval rating had barely moved. Even someone as confident as Risa was pretty worried lately. This was evident by what she said previously.
2学期のうちにはどうしても上昇に転じておきたいのよ。というのは3学期になるとイベントごとってもうないから。
The association could put its presence on display by getting involved in events, but such opportunities were only possible during the second term. Naturally, I wanted to do something about it as well, but sentiments alone couldn't sway public opinion.
はい。ちょっと美月さん、人がため息ついている横で何バカってやっているのですか？
Idiot couple! Fuck yeah!
だってもうすぐ冬休みでしょ？しばらく会えなくなるのだから今のうちにと思って。
Because she lied to her parents and came back to school early during summer vacation, she had to go back home for real this time.
あなた余裕ね。ん？だって私としては喜ばしいことじゃない。
Sorry about that. My arm feels very wet all of a sudden. Because I accidentally fucking sneezed on my arm.
そうだけど。まあ、あなたの言いたいことはわかるわよ。もしも女子校のままとなったら、私はこんなこともできなくなる。でしょ？
She brought the spoon to my mouth as she spoke.
そういうこと。変われば変わるものね。
Lisa added that on the end, a bit of smile creeping on her face.
それは私だってマサヤさんがいなくなったら寂しいわよ。でもね、これは前から言っていることだけど、それでも私は女子校としての万全能を愛しているもの。そう。まあ、永久に会えなくなるわけでもないのだし、寂しさはそれとしてしっかり受け止めるけど、紅バラ会の役員としての責任も引き続き果たしていくわよ。ええ、そうしてちょうだい。むしろそうしてこそ私のライバルってところかしらね。望むところよ。ああ、ダメダメ。
Mitsuki snatched my spoon away.
今日は私が全部食べさせるって約束でしょ？
Like he was just like, okay, time for me to finally eat on my own. Yeah.
ライバル失格にさせたくなってきたわね。
Well, fuck you now. Risa shook her head in exasperation. Jante de Noël, closing ceremony. Oh, are they actually going to exchange the one that them on the event? On the last night before she headed home, Mitsuki came to visit me in my dorm room for the first time in ages. For the record, we really had cut back on these sort of late-night visits. Mitsuki had gotten to the point where she could openly engage in public displays of affection without reserve, but still maintained a degree of modesty. She was being considerate of the fact that visiting her boyfriend's room too frequently would make the other students around us uncomfortable. We wouldn't see each other again for a while starting tomorrow, so we were planning to shower each other with as much love and affection as we could for one more night.
さっき嬉しかったわね。みんなから祝福してもらって。
Yeah. On this, the last day of the second term, there was an event called the Chant de Noël at the on-campus cathedral. At this particular event, couples that had made emotional connections would exchange rosaries. We attended the Chant de Noël and received everyone's blessings via their applause. Oh, so they did do that. Nice. As we kissed, I groped her breast through her clothes. Could feel her body temperature rising by the minute.
そういえば、あれから私、改めて教科書を読んだりとかしたのだけど、精子ってどんどん生産されるという話だけど。
Huh? Sperm? I blinked, wondering why she was bringing that up now. Mitsuki continued, looking like she was thinking about her question surprisingly seriously.
溜まり続けて、それからどうなるの？
To the sperm?
そうよ。女性みたいに月1回排出されるとか、そういうわけではないのでしょ？
No, we don't.
あれかしら、トイレの時に一緒に流れるとか？
No, it doesn't. It's pretty agonizing when it builds up, so I'll take care of it myself.
処理？
Like masturbation.
そういうこと。
That reminds me. Didn't you say you've done it too?
何よそれは。私がそんなことするはずないでしょ。
The whole touching yourself thing? That's masturbation. Is that right?
何意外そうに返しているのかしら。
Because you mentioned it before. That you've touched yourself.
あれはあの1回だけよ。そんな、それが癖になったとか、そんなことはないわ。
I was unsure whether she was telling me the truth or not, but I had no intention of pressing her on it. Why are you bringing that up all of a sudden?
だって明日からしばらく会えなくなるじゃない。その間、マサヤさんどうするのかと思って。
Well, I just whacked the palm tree until, you know, the cocos milk came out. That's what it was.
それで、するの？G を。
Men can't really help it. I said, sounding like an excuse.
そうなんだ。
Are you mad?
いえ、別に怒ってはいないけど、単純に疑問だっただけだから。
Actually, I'm even pretty happy about that answer because I have an excuse as she suddenly fucking pounces on him. You see, that's good then.
溜まる一方で吐き出せなかったら、それは苦しいだろうなということは、女の私でも想像はつくし。
Yeah, it's not like that for girls, having any built-up sexual urges.
それは、ないことはないけど。
I see.
本当言うと前はなかったのよ。それは本当。でもあなたと経験してからは時に体がうずくような感覚があって。
Her graphic confession made me gulp.
それがきっと前は感じたことのなかった性欲というものだと思うのだけど、気がつくと自分で触ったりしていて。だからってそれが別に G というわけでは。
It's fine, isn't it? It doesn't bother me.
本当なんだからね。
Mitsuki pouted a little. But, how do girls touch themselves exactly?
なんでそんなこと聞くのよ。
Well, I just wanted to know. When I mimicked the way she said it, she blushed and glared at me.
ずるいわね。
Want to get to know your shy side much, much more.
私が言ったこと覚えているのね。
Of course. I'm the only person who will ever know the other embarrassing side of you, now and forever.
本当でしょうね。
Of course, hold on. Also not perfect. With that affirmation, she nodded with a blush.
わかった。でも私、本当にしたことないんだからね。G なんてやっぱりはしたないし。
possible it would be difficult for us to see each other next year, so... it's possible it would be difficult for us to see each other next year. So I think it would be better if you didn't worry too much about whether it's vulgar or not.
なるほど。
You seem to accept that in earnest. That rather unique conversation kicked off the evening's festivities. After we finished making love, repeatedly, we snuggled up together on top of the bed. Winter break. Mm.
ああ、起きたのね。おはよう。
Huh? Mitsuki. She set a steaming pot on the table and came to the bed.
寝ぼけているのかしら？
She poked my forehead. Her sweet smell tickled my nose. Oh, I see, last night was a rare occasion, so we slept together in the same bed. This was the first time we'd ever done something like this. For a moment, I couldn't make sense of what was going on.
私は1時間くらい前に起きたのだけど、マサヤさんはだいぶぐっすりだったわよ。
It's because I was so worn out from last night.
まあ、そうでしょうね。あ、お風呂を使わせてもらったから。
Yeah, maybe I should take a shower myself.
ちょっと、先に服を着て。
Oh, sorry. We were close enough now that there wasn't any real reason for us to be shy around one another, but being stark naked under the morning sun was still embarrassing. I quickly put on underwear and a shirt while getting her to look the other way.
じゃあ、私はもう行くわね。
Oh? We're not going to have tea together?
ちょっともう時間がないのよ。着替えないといけないし。
I see. That's too bad. If only I'd woken up a little earlier.
二人で一緒の朝を迎えるというのは、また今度ね。
Yeah. Mitsuki gently pressed her lips to mine before putting it away. Got out of bed and saw her off as far as the door.
じゃあ、ごきげんよう。私は新年の3日には戻ってくるから。
Yeah, see you then.
待ち遠しい？
Of course, the new year can't come fast enough.
私もだわ。
We exchanged a quick kiss before Mitsuki left the room. Her aroma permeated the room, which only made me feel her absence even more. Oh, I really do hope summer vacation goes by fast. Winter vacation goes by fast. Ah, reading! Found myself thinking that from the very first day. When it came to vacations, I'd always had something to do, to keep me busy, but this marked the first time I had ever found a vacation completely unnecessary. Time passed in the blink of an eye, and today was the day of the Grande Vote.
まだわからないわよ。まだわからないわね。
Support for the White Lily Society ultimately never spread, but Risa's breathing was erratic.
勝負は終わるまで諦めてはいけないのだから。ね、マサヤさん。
Yeah. It went without saying that Risa tried her hardest at this election, but I too had in my own way. Everyone in the White Lily Society shared the feeling of not wanting to lose. When voting ended, we all headed to Maria Hall. The original staff were present for the express purpose of conducting the tally.
とうとう終わってしまったわね。はい。ごきげんよう。あら、タミエさん。
Sorry, Siri said. Almost read your line.
どうしたのですか？結果が出たら早速インタビューしようと思ってさ。まあ、まだ2時間くらいあるみたいだけど。私たちも結果待ちでお茶をいただくところよ。タミエさんもいかが？ありがとう。私はね、キーマンはズバリ言って美月さんに会ったと思うのよ。キーマン？何の？ それはもちろん紅バラ会の勝利について。ちょっと、まだ結果が出るまで2時間もあるというのに、その言い草は何かしら？まあそうだけど太陽は西から昇ることはないわけで、その心は紅バラ会の勝利は太陽が東から昇るようなものということ。
Lisa seemed really bummed out. Personally speaking, that rubbed me the wrong way when she said Mitsuki was the reason why. She seemed to feel the same.
でもどうして私が？
And asked that curiously.
それはもう美月さんが素敵になってしまったからに決まってるじゃない。恋をしてということ。
Basically, that made her too appealing.
律子という看板に加えて美月さんまで人気がうなぎ登りになってしまった。それで紅バラ会の支持者が最後まで剥がれ落ちることがなかったんだと思うのよね。でも待ってよ、それが恋のおかげであるなら少しは驚愕派に人が流れてくれてもいいんじゃなくて？
Well, they were on Mitsuki's side, but not on Masaya's.
まあね、これは私の想像だけど、あんまりマサヤさんとの関連で考えなかったんじゃないかな、みんな。美月さんの人気の高まりはあくまで美月さんの資質であって、マサヤさんは関係ないみたいな。何よそれは、なんだかずるいわね。私に言われても困るけどね。あともう一つ、番宣のはほらウブな女の子が多いじゃない。ということは男子と恋をして女子が変わってしまうという事実にピンとこなかった。だから原因がすっぽり抜け落ちて結果だけが目の前に差し出されたような感じになってしまったんじゃないかしらね。なるほど。別に私が人気が高まったとかそんなことは言うつもりはないんだけど。
After clearing her throat, she continued.
タミエさんの言うことは確かに納得できた。だって私誰かを好きになって自分が変わるなんてこと思ったこともなかったもの。のろけるわね。そんなつもりはないですけど。なるほどね。
Lisa drooped her shoulders.
普段よく接している私たちからすると変化の原因は一目瞭然だわ。でも他の人たちからするとそうでもなかったんでしょうね。確かに美月様の瞳は眩しいほど生き生きとしていました。そしてそんな時は必ず近くにマサヤ様の姿が。律子までそんなこと言ってごめんなさい。変化は私の望むところではあったけれど、思わぬ結果をもたらしてしまったということなのね。まだ結果はわからないわね。まだわかりませんとも。
Lisa definitely was stubborn. And as for the results, the sun rose from the east as expected. At night, we all met up again. In the recreation room.
それで番宣のをやめた後、あんたはどうするの？
Well, I'll just enroll at Etatsu Auxiliary.
そっか。やっぱり残念だよね。結局1年間通ったんだからサービスがあってもいいと思うんだけどな。ほんとよね。でもそれも望み薄かしら。それに美月としても残念よね。はい。でも覚悟はしていましたから。それに これはこれで私にとって悪くない結果でもありますし。
Oh boy, the background on the right hand side changed to depression again. This time, one of the last CGs for Mitsuki. Not Mitsuki. Mitsuru. One of the last CGs for the Mitsuru-Route. Her name was Mitsuru. I'm not fucking crazy, am I? Actually, I am, but that's not what I'm trying to say here. Hold on. Yes, we get it. It was fucking Michiru. I think it was. Oh, my god. Yeah, it's not being shown on the website. Fuck. On the Steam page, I mean. Oh well. But it was Michiru. I remember now. Yeah, it was just one of the last CGs with in the Mitsuki-Route with the little Michiru. And now because I changed it, it's now Kaoruko in a China dress again, which is nice. Anyways.
そっか。でも、マサヤさんはもっと寂しいでしょうね。一人暮らしをされるんですか?
Yeah, I will be. Maybe I'll take up a part-time job or something to distract myself.
でもあんた、まだ宝くじのお金残ってるんでしょ?
Like I said, it would be to kill time. But yeah, thinking about it, the lottery was a lucky break that just fell into my lap. Doing some real work wouldn't be so bad. Yeah.
さすがはマサヤさんね。それでこそ。それでこそ?
like I went like exactly why what, but I expected someone to just go like, don't fucking finish that sentence.
いえ、別に、労働者の鏡というか。まだ学生でしょ? 未来の夫だ。なんて言おうとしたんでしょ?
Looks like she nailed it. So then, I guess I really should work my hardest.
ええ、そうしてちょうだいな。
It was now summer break. I got back to work for the first time in roughly half a year, and tried going to my favorite construction site. I'm totally wiped, swinging around a pickaxe for the first time in ages. Before, this would have felt like nothing more than pure fatigue to me. Once I got home, I would sleep like a log. That was why, as strange as it may be to say, I wasn't grateful for that fatigue in the slightest. But now it was different. Guess I would have to call it a comfortable exhaustion. And I was sure that was because I had someone waiting for me at home. I was now living at the apartment the realtor had shown to me before. The reason I picked this place was indeed because it was a perfect place for two people to live. I'm home.
おかえりなさい。
Smells good. What are we having?
マサヤさんの好きな銀物のたっぷり野菜蒸しよ。
Ah, of course. Mitsuki ended up staying with me when summer vacation started in Sen. When we started this mini cohabitation, we made sure to get permission from her parents. They gave their consent as long as we were thinking of getting married. But I'm happy.
そんなに好き? 銀物。
That is part of it. But right now I was just thinking about how I have someone waiting for me at home. A while ago, that would have been unthinkable. You're so cute too.
何よ、急に。
Compared to when I first met you, that's remembering the past all of a sudden.
昔が何ですって?
Since you used to be just a little bit malicious.
あ、言うわね。マサヤさんのだけたっぷりお酢を振りかけてあげましょうか。
I personally would actually adore that. I really like vinegar for some reason. Like, I'm the type of person that drinks the salad dressing after they're done eating the salad. Judge me all you want. Also, I forgot to check the results over on visual novels. Anyways, okay, so Soul apparently, so one of the mods apparently wants lamination. No one else answered. But yeah, interesting. There's like, I don't know why, but I really like these little these little surveys. They're always really interesting to me. Kidding, but what did you be about you being cute was true.
しょうがないわね。ほら、早く手を洗って。ちょうどできたところだから、早速ご飯にしましょうよ。
Yeah.
今日はうまくできたわよ。期待していいからね。
She used to be a slightly malicious girl. But now, she felt like a very lovely young wife. Found myself thinking, this must be happiness. I think she has the potential to be better than Tamiya right now. I think if it wasn't, if I didn't have the personal bias, she would be better than Tamiya. We've watched this before. No need to watch it again. So yeah, like I'm honestly of the opinion that if I didn't have my personal bias towards Tamiya, Mitsuki would probably be my favorite route. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and see you guys next time for Konomi's round. Actually, I'm probably not going to record one of this Prince of Evangile tomorrow, because I'm either going to put up a noises video or a little collaboration with Keigo that I'm planning. Keigo 02. I don't know how to fucking say his name. Anyway, so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and see you next time. Bye-bye.